All right, don't be shy now. Come on up. Which one? Which one are you for? Which one are you for? Are you for the ICE and are you for ICE? You for Trump? You for FBA? You for African Americans? Which one? I'll make a clear distinction, between all identities. Okay, if you come on up, don't be shy now. All my life, trying to keep me down. They try to break me. They try to break me.
Salute. Thanks for having me up on the panel. Uh, that picture is crazy. Oh man. Yeah, that's FBA all day.
Oh man, sorry, I was muted this whole time trying to talk to you. Salute, salute. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you caught my salute. I don't know what happened. I was just saying, like, happy holidays. You know, if you spent a good time with the fam.
Thank you. Thank you. I did. Happy holidays to you too.
Likewise, likewise. Yeah, I was saying, yeah, I got this prompt. You feel me? But shout out to Modi who made it for me. But I need some questions. You know, I need my nuanced questions. So I'm still pondering. I'm still cooking in the kitchen. You feel me?
I have one question. FBA's complain about the system of white supremacy, but they uphold the system of white supremacy when they brag about ICE. So how the same system that did mass incarceration and put smack brocane in the black community, and the same system is the same system producing ICE. So how can you be for the system and against the system?
Right, right. Really good point. Really good point. Yeah, all the atrocities, right? Like how are you backing the police now? They're just another form of policing black people. Okay, so ICE is they're deporting. It's racial profiling at this point. They took that one back out. If you speak Spanish, if you look, if you look like an indigenous Mexican, you white Latinos are safe. Not really, but Yeah, bro. How do you support the same system that well, you know how they see it? They see it as something that's beneficial to them because they want the immigrants out, right? So they're like, we don't support the president, but we support this executive order or that executive order. We support Donald Trump supports us. So you guys are real bootlickers. This is why this prompt is up here. Straight up bootlickers. You only huffing and puffing and your chest out because of this current administration doing what it's doing. Again, you're not in control. You don't run shit. You're not at the head of immigration. You're not at the head of Homeland Security, let alone ICE. And ICE is crazy because they're federal and stuff, so they get away with bullshit too. You got a bunch of ICE agents that have already run amok, have already exposed even cosplayers, people that impersonate ICE. So many YT people are getting away with that. Even Mexican Americans are doing it too. Most of the force is Mexican Americans. I will add that as well.
Are you
Very,
serious?
very disappointing. Yeah. Well, at least in this region. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Sellouts are everywhere. Coonery is everywhere. And Mexican MAGAs, black MAGAs. You guys can all fill in the blank. You guys are traitors. You guys are tap dancing for YT supremacy. Yeah, go
Once they
ahead.
get rid of the black and brown immigrants, how does that benefit FBAs? Let's say, well, put aside the fact that most of the Somalis, like very high percentage, like high 80s, 90% are American citizens. The same with Nigerians, the same with other
Correct.
immigrant
Correct.
groups.
Yeah.
Most of us are Nigerians, and I'm sorry, most of us are here legally. We're American citizens, right? So you're not going to deport American citizens. The
Yeah. Go ahead.
and no, the illegals are like in the single digits for most immigrant groups, right? So I think this is like a symbolic gesture. I think even if they get all the illegals, it's really not going to move the needle in terms of most of the people.
Right. So that's right. What was your name again? Sorry. Blocktavius. Like you. I want to say Tether. Yes, bro. But you see how they are misinformed because there's two pathways to citizenship. There's birthright and there's naturalization. They keep getting those confused. They want to call us anchor babies. They're mad at us because we can't be deported. But this is what they're thinking. Getting rid of the Naturalization Act, that they're going to be able to deport us, right? So they still don't even know what these terms mean. They just go with the flow and talk all that mad shit, call us anchor babies. But again, at the end of the day, if that's going to happen, it'll be at the end of his reign, because I think they want to get rid of the 14th Amendment altogether, and here, this is a quick fact. This is a clock. So, some they're letting people leave on their own accord, actually giving them a G to go if they want to self-deport, right? But the ones that choose not to, those are the people who are going to face real consequences, in the sense that I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen because they're thinking about moving people to other places that they're not from. Because Mexico, a lot of people don't want to go back because of what's going on there, so they are kind of in limbo. So I think they just got some island. I can't remember. They paid $47 million taxpayer money to get another island, only for we'll use some of it to. Is it Lagos? Not Lagos. It's something, bro. I'll shoot you the link. But that's where they're going to start sending some of these elite, like naturalization. So they made their citizenship through passing the test, right? And did all the work they needed to do to stay here legally, but now that's still up for questioning at this point. Because yeah, go ahead.
No, but you're right. Trump does have like third country options when it comes to deporting people. Like I read an article that some of the Somalis that are being deported, they're not going back to Somalia. Some of them are going to Kenya, and they're just going to remain there until some proceeding happens or something. So it's the same in Nigeria. There's detention facilities that the American government is building in Nigeria just for this third party option. So let's say you can't be deported to your country directly. They'll just take you to Nigeria and you'll just stay in a detention facility there.
Right.
Crazy.
They're actually setting precedents to migrations, like forced migrations, of how they're going to be moving people, and it's crazy not to think that, like, when they say fleeing and all that, Glock, it's really freely migrating throughout the world, and nobody was going to stop these people from, whether it was forced upon us or not. Like, no one's going to stop people's movements, just like they can't stop like natural migrations that happen.
But there's an economic angle here too. So what Trump campaigned on was bringing, companies overseas manufacturing back to America, bringing manufacturing back to America. Now you can only do that if labor costs are lower, because American labor is some of the most expensive labor on the market. And I know for a fact that there are Republicans and Democrats who want immigration because it is a cheaper source of labor. So, how do you bring manufacturing back to America without bringing also the laborers in who will work for lower money? So that those economic forces are very powerful. I don't see how Trump. I don't see how he makes it happen.
Right. Well. How's it going, bro? Let me finish this thought, Smooth, and I'll introduce you.
Sure.
So yes, the cheap labor, right? I think this is why they're making this move now, because it's going to be harder. The human trafficking, and they want to say they're really sending a lot of these people to go work in other, like, cheap labor. That's what they get these people on pennies on the dollar now. Now they can take their rights, and now they have to work. Like, okay, so that's what I was saying. Clock. So the 13th Amendment, there was a chance for immigrants to self-deport, like I was saying. But it's worse for us even still being here in America, because once you're arrested, detained, let alone deportation, you're re-enslaved under the 13th Amendment. So it doesn't matter what they end up getting you for. If you're locked up in the system, that's what it legally translates to. We love to be proud of the 14th Amendment, but they forgot about the 13th Amendment that came before it, where it abolished slavery, but it also there was how do you say this? There was
A legal loophole. There's a
legal,
loophole.
yeah, I forget there's a term for it. Yes, there's that, right? There's something in quotations, and it says we can.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
I'm forgetting it too.
they there's an expert, or I forget the term. Anyways, they abolished slavery, but at the same time, they can put you back into slavery through criminalizing your behavior. Yeah.
The convicted felons are de facto slaves. You don't have rights. You don't have citizenship rights. You don't have the right to vote. You don't have the right to move around. I mean, you lose a lot of your rights once you get convicted of a felony.
Yeah, facts. Like, Donald Trump has a bunch of felonies, but it doesn't matter, right? He's got Epstein files as well, but it doesn't matter. All right, let's go ahead and move forward. Smooth, go ahead and introduce yourself. We need your race, ethnicity, where you're from.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm mixed. I'm part white, part black. I'm from Massachusetts. Right here on the East Coast. What drew me to your live was was this image where you got the FBA licking the boot, and that is basically what I think of these guys. I mean, I think these individuals are basically a scam, and somebody else is working them. You know what I mean?
Right. The puppeteer master. Yeah.
Yeah, because the reason why I say it is, okay, like a foundational Black American, right? Were they here since the country's founding? Yes, that is true. But when you look across the racial divide, I don't see white people doing that to European immigrants. You know what I mean? I don't see that. So that's why it has me thinking, like, who is behind this? Who is trying to divide the Black Americans from the Black immigrants? There's somebody that's there that's trying to, draw a wedge in between those two.
Yeah, it's definitely a divide and conquer strategy. I
I don't know. Is it my internet?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, they did a similar operation during the, COINTELPRO during the civil rights movement. If you divide people and have them infighting, then they're easier to manage and control. I think this is what it is.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because most of these FBA types, they seem to be conservatives. Usually, they're always like promoting like right wing talking points.
Yeah, we call it FBA MAGAs, black MAGAs. We got them.
Yep.
I was just telling Glock, we got them in Mexican Americans, anybody that's gonna mask racism with patriotism.
Yeah.
So that's what it comes down to. All right, Smooth. Did you land your plane? Did you want to get everything off before I invite Abel up?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm gonna go on mute for a little bit now.
Yeah. Stick around. We'll have an open panel. Abel,
Sure.
what's up, my Habesha brother?
What's up? What's up?
Can you introduce yourself with your race and ethnicity, where you're from?
Yeah, I'm black. I'm mixed Habesha, mixed Somali, and I'm living in America.
Okay. Welcome, my brother. Assalamu alaikum. You have any thoughts on the prompt or what we've talked about so far?
Yeah, just looking at the prompt, if I'm just looking at it as a very basic, looking at it in a vacuum, I'm not going to call somebody a bootlicker for having a job. However, I do know the FBA, they're kind of they're in a psyop right now. It's an absolute psyop. What's been conducted, as we can see, Elon Musk and Donald Trump, they're probably pulling the strings. And I think somebody mentioned on the panel divide and conquer techniques. Yeah, this is proven. I've actually been seeing it. I don't know if you guys are on Twitter, but they had a new feature where you can see somebody's location from their profiles, and all those anti-black accounts are like European accounts, and even some black accounts that are LARPing as black are actually European as well, doing some divide and conquer between black men and black women. Like there's these very popular accounts that are anti-black men, supposedly run by a black woman, but the person's living in Poland. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely a psyop going on. It's kind of crazy. FBAs, they're a little lost, but what can you do is the times we live in now.
Awesome, brother. Yeah. What can we do? Well, we can come speak our mind, Yeah, what are they gonna do about it, right? I see you in the comments there, FBA. All right, man, just come on up. Stop living in the comments, bro. Come on, don't do that. All right. ICE is gonna come and get you. You see this guy in the comments? All right, bro. Well, we're here, bro. We're all American citizens. I don't know, I don't know what you're I don't know what you're gonna accomplish. You're just gonna waste the police's time, and then you'll go to jail because you called randomly on someone that's not who you thought was illegal. There has to be repercussions for these Karens and Kens that report people to the police for no goddamn other reason because they speak Spanish or they look like they're illegals. How do you define that? So they get to choose. They get to choose and pick. So, anyways,
the irony of FBA's calling the slave catchers on immigrants when their ancestors had the same treatment. It's remarkable. I see a lot of similarities between what they say to black immigrants and what the white T-man said to them. Go back to Africa. You're monkeys. You're primitive. I see it as some kind of a transference, some kind of psychological transference from the white T-man injured them, so they want to injure immigrants.
Oh yes, that's I've said that over and over again. They're tethered. They're tethered to sub. Go ahead, Smith.
No. I was gonna say the word is projection.
Yeah, they project their insecurities. They're projecting that they might get deported because they might look African. They're like, you better not confuse me. Do you hear my English? My English has no accent. I've heard the FBA is like, you're not You're not an FBI. I can tell. You're not Black American. You don't speak like one. You know, you don't sound like one. That's what he said.
Oh yeah, dude.
You don't sound. So
I've
that's
been
what
hearing that my whole life, man.
that's what xenophobia is. You guys are phobic to even be called xenophobic, but that's exactly what it is.
I've heard that my whole life, man. I mean, you're not black. You don't sound black, and my mom's black.
Is that your profile picture?
No. You know what's funny? A lot of people forgot about this guy, but during Trump's first term, have you ever heard of Caesar Sayoc?
Can't say I have.
No.
Okay. So during Trump's first term as president, this guy over here, Caesar Sayoc, took it upon himself when the mainstream media was being super mean to Trump. He was mailing certain packages to CNN and other mainstream media outlets. I don't want to say what he was mailing, but let's just say
bribes.
No, it rhymes with the word comb.
Videotapes.
No. Let's just say if they opened the package, folks could have been unalived.
Oh, pneumonia.
Yeah. No, they had the potential
that was P. Diddy's thing.
Of going, let's say, boom. Let's say.
Oh wow! Well, is that in the redacted files, or where are we getting this information from?
Oh no, bro! This was like huge news back in I think it was in 2017. This was like all over the media, man. He was mailing shit to like Jake Tapper, Wolf Blitzer.
So smooth. Give me the best article in the comments. All right, give me the best thing you can give me so I can go look it up.
I got you.
We have a new panelist.
I'm gonna move on. Go ahead, Glock, if you can introduce. I know B1. B1's I think he's at FBA, but I think he knows better now. Welcome up, B1.
Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm a part of that lineage. Yes. And I was listening to everybody's commentary, so it's interesting. I don't view this, the FBA as I would refer the awakening or the renaissance or the clarification. I don't view that negatively at all. I think there are some extremists in our movement who attack, but they're necessary. We've been dealing with a lot of different things over generations, and we're now the FBA. Some of them reacting to the some of the immigrants whatsoever. And I, being a Black American, growing up as a Black American, I can tell you that some of the sentiments I respect. Because now we're taking a stand. We're delineating who we are as a people. It was actually us really having a love fest with our own lineage on social media, and it really started to heat up around the middle 2010s. And then you had things like 1619 Project and people starting to converse and discuss different things. And it wasn't getting xenophobic at that time until the immigrants started to tell us who we were. They think they had some idea or some kind of jurisdiction to define our own identity, and we responded. And we continue to respond, and people are not upset with it. And one of the cornerstones of African American humor is playing the dozens. It's roasting people, and that's part of what's going on. So a lot of stuff you're seeing is just, we created a whole art form called hip hop based on signifying and playing the dozens. That's all that's about. To syncopated music. So what we have here is mostly reactionary responses you're seeing, but the other part is necessary. It's the real first ethnocentric movement that Black Americans have actually gone out and done. Before this, we were more Pan-African. I was a Pan-African, but now we're moving on beyond that. We're evolving.
Can I ask a quick question? A couple of questions. All right. So you said that immigrants were telling you who you are, right?
Yeah, they're trying to.
Okay,
yes.
But I've heard FBA say that the original Hebrews. They are Moors. They are Black
Those
Indians. Hang on, hang on. I've heard all of these different identity claims. So if I say, it's imagine if you're a man in a dress with a wig on, and you tell me that you're actually a woman. Now, if I say, you know what, I don't think you're a woman, and then you come back at me and say, well, these immigrants are trying to tell me who I am. This is the same. This is the same level
most
of
of us
thing
don't
that
believe that. Most of
we're.
us don't believe those things.
I don't know.
So, and those
Have you
things,
been on
let me
TikTok?
explain this to you. That's the immigrants not understanding black code, because the Hebrew Israelites, they came out in the 1890s. The Moorish Science Temple, that was 1915. So these beliefs, the Washington Nation, that goes back to the 1970s in terms of that whole pretendian thing about being indigenous. In fact, people were actually writing about that in the 1890s. Black Americans are writing about these different things. So they have lineages in certain cities and certain parts of the countries, like the Morris Science Temple was huge in Detroit, and it predates the Nation of Islam in Detroit. In fact, most of the literature that the Nation of Islam inherited under Ward Muhammad, they inherited and incorporate that into the teachings of the Nation of Islam, because most of the rank and file leadership joined them after Drew Ali passed.
But none of
So
that disproves my point that you're experiencing
So
identity
there is no
crisis.
monolith. Let me just conclude this. There's no monolith in terms of these different things. So
Right.
those are metaphysical identity approaches, almost like religions. And they're very niche and very small populations of people. Some of them are loud on the social media and whatsoever, but the overwhelming majority of us, we know we're of African
But
descent.
they have different creation myths and different or origin
And so does
stories.
other people around the world.
No, but I'm talking specifically the people who call themselves African American or who are part of your lineage. I'm talking about your lineage in this moment.
Right. Yeah. They're allowed. We should allow to have diversity of voices and whatsoever. And those are things they need to work out over time.
Well, no. If you just mentioned also the dozens, you like to play the dozens as part of your
Yeah.
culture.
Okay.
Okay, so in so doing, you're also.
But that's insular. That's
No.
intracultural.
It's not intercultural because
Yes, it is.
Okay, fine. So if I'm a tether, right? If I eat bushmeat and I do practice open defecation, then that enables me to take the gloves off. So I cannot hear
All
any
those things are
complaining.
true.
I cannot hear any complaining.
Yeah, they said
about
the roasting was part of the Renaissance. That's what he said. So
No, I said
the
roasting was part of our
the
culture.
glory of this FBA Renaissance is the lickbacks and the roasting.
No, I said that was part of that's part of our culture.
So we can do it too. We can do it too. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, that's part of our culture. Yeah.
Okay, it's part of my culture too. So there's no special pleading here. I don't want to hear any more complaints about, oh, these immigrants are so.
Yeah, but
rude.
if you're talking to me, then I'm not going to defend the indigenous theory. I'm not going to defend the Black Israelites' philosophies and their teachings.
But they are
I'm not
part of
going to
your
defend
lineage.
the Moorish temporal science and with the Moors and stuff like that. I'm not going to defend that.
Are
So
they part of your lineage or not? Is the question.
absolutely.
So there you go. So you cannot now say, "Oh, these people are part of my
Absolutely,
lineage."
they're extensions but there's no monolith in Black American culture. The culture takes many different facets and forms,
Yeah.
regionally and teachings and stuff like
Yeah,
that. I
that
understand
extends
that.
to your African ancestry descendants that you want to say that it's true that they are tethers and that they eat monkeys and bushmeat, right?
Well,
That's all.
my
That's all
African-
true.
my- they're
That's
not
all
my
true,
African-
right?
Those aren't my ancestors. What are you talking about?
So you don't have African ancestors.
I have African ancestors. I think he's trying to say the Africans alive today are connected to me. They're not connected to me. There's a different lineage. Their lineage is different than ours.
Okay.
So-
When did you stop being African?
Delineating.
The
It's part
minute
of the
they put
delineating
us on those
process.
boats, the minute they put on those boats and they allow those boats to sail off, we cease to be African.
So
The
hang on,
minute
hang on,
the
hang on,
minute
hang
they
on.
had us walk around the Ouida in the port of Ouida, walk around the tree of forgetfulness, that's when we stopped being African.
I just want to be clear. You're saying that the Africans outside the boat are African, They get
No,
on the
I
boat.
said the Africans, the minute they put my ancestors on the boats, my ancestors cease to be an African.
So something is
Who got
magical
to
about the
decide
boat.
that? Was that a
So,
Donald Trump executive order? Like, where
yeah,
did you get that from?
that's
That's
hear the rhetoric.
just the anthropological truth.
How is that anthropological truth, sir? That's just empty
No,
rhetoric.
they were no longer African at that point.
Was it
So
because they
giving
bred with
They
the
were
white
they were
tea? Did
amalgamated
they make
into a new
mulattoes
population of people.
and
They were
quadroons?
amalgamated
wait,
into a
wait.
new.
It's
There were
this unique. It's
Igbos.
this unique
Listen,
lineage. It's this
hang
quite
on.
unique
There
lineage.
were 217 different
On
lineages.
the boat, they were
On the
amalgamated
boat,
on the
on the
boat.
boat,
Hang
there
on.
were 217 different
But you
lineages.
said that they
Those
were
languages
amalgamated on
and
the
those
boat.
names were lost.
Sir, hang on for a second. There were Igbos on that boat. My lineage is on that boat. Now you're saying,
No, your lineage
listen,
is in
listen to
Africa.
me. Listen to me.
My,
Igbos,
my lineage began in the United States, a new people.
hang on a second. I'm talking about the boat. There were Igbos loaded onto that boat that you said or amalgamated. The Igbo landing, you can read this for yourself. They drowned themselves in the water instead of enslaving themselves. But there are many other Igbos.
That's true.
There
That's
were
true.
many
But
other
they
Igbos
they
who got
they
here.
they no
So
longer.
you're not going to tell me that these Igbos stopped being Igbos just because they got on a boat. You're lying.
Well, that's part of the process of becoming black in America. That began the process. There's a process that took place. There was a process to make people into slaves, and there's a process to make people into a forced amalgamated new population of people with a new ethnicity and a new culture.
Okay, let me ask you a question. There were Chinese people here 300 years ago.
Y'all love that white tea culture. I swear to God.
Are the Chinese
It's not
people
white tea culture. It's a black American culture.
If
it's
they
white tea culture?
if they enslaved you, it's not.
No. There was some
Our
autonomy there.
ancestors were enslaved.
There was some autonomy there.
What autonomy
You're
do
so
slaves
far
have?
removed.
There was
from
some
our
autonomy in
ancestors.
terms of developing our
So
culture. There
500
was autonomy.
So
There was some
400
retention, and there was some new things.
Hang on. What language do you speak, sir? Tell me, what is your indigenous language?
I don't need an indigenous link. I speak English.
You speak the white man's language. Can we agree on that? I speak the white man's language too.
Speaking it right now too, sir.
Right. So you don't speak your own language. I also speak Igbo.
We speak our own language. The
What
way
is your
Black
own
Americans
language?
use language
your
is
own
completely different from any people
And
in
don't
the
say
United
Ebonics.
States. I'm not saying Ebonics. The way we form and use language is completely different.
It's African American vernacular English.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same
Just like it's
thing as
African
how
American as an
Europeans
identity.
use languages.
Yeah. Mhm.
The inflections, the use of double
Sure, it's
double adjectives,
I hear
double
you,
negatives.
B1.
That's
I think we're getting out.
completely
We're getting off course.
We're-
We're getting off course.
Okay, let's not. Okay,
Let's
He's
go
trying to
back.
argue me about something he knows nothing about.
B1, don't say that. That's disingenuous. Relax. Let's just
It was true.
let's have a constructive conversation.
Okay.
From here on. Let's just move forward. Go ahead and land your point, Glock, and let's just keep it moving.
Okay, here's my point. Okay, a lot of FBAs get on here and say that their ancestors are African, but they are not African. The process of being enslaved and their grandmothers being sexually assaulted and being put on breeding farms made them some kind of a master race. There's something about being domesticated like farm animals changed them into a new thing that is now different, even though their DNA and everything betrays them. So it's this notion that 300 years of sexual assault and forced labor makes you a new thing. Like you are no longer African. That is the magic that we're meant to take on board. So imagine a Chinese person gets here 200 years ago, and their descendants 200 years later are no longer Chinese. They are American. They're ethnically American. They're a new thing. This is the magic that they're trying to use words to convey this thing. It's like it's a transgender ideology. If you really break it down, it's the same
simply just
transgender
the
ideology.
proximity to whiteness. They want to be close to the
Well,
whiteness. close to
let me
the
explain.
whiteness.
Let me explain the rationale behind that, though.
And let
Because
Abel
there
chime.
is-
Let Abel chime in. B1, because I know you
Yeah,
guys have been
just
talking. Let
simply,
them chime in. And I'll let you respond to that. Okay, B1.
Yeah, just simply I view it as they're trying to be close to whiteness. They want that proximity to whiteness. For example, that's why they reject anything African, and they're happy with the elements that the YT man gave
What?
them. Yeah, you were talking about how
Nobody's
it's not
I
YT
don't have any
culture, it's
love
Black
affair with
American
whiteness,
culture.
dude. I didn't
Hey,
vote for
he's
Donald
Yeah,
talking
go
in
Trump.
ahead.
general.
Yeah,
B1,
go
he's
ahead.
talking in general.
That's all I
He's not
wanted.
attacking you. I think
Yeah,
he's
that's
Okay,
attacking
that's
but
all I
I
wanted
know
to say.
mostly
B1,
FBAs. We
you
don't
can
have any
respond.
proximity to
you can't
whiteness.
speak for all FBAs. Hold
Well,
on,
I'm here to
B1.
do that.
No, you're not. You cannot do that.
All right, I
I
won't
can't
do
speak for
it. All
all
right, go ahead.
Africans, right?
Go.
Come on.
But it's a misnomer. It's a
All right.
misinterpretation of what they were
I
saying.
get you, B1. Let him land though.
I'm sorry.
We gotta let the brother land.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead,
just,
Abel.
I just feel it's a little, they want to reject anything to do with Africanness, and they are happy to accept anything that came from the white man, the Europeans, for example. He's talking about the music, the language, and whatnot. If it's viewed as positive light, it's most likely whiteness. But if it's anything negative, it's associated to being African.
Well, let me respond to that. Let me just say this: where our ancestors were African, right? Were of African, they were African descent. In the present tense, we can't be technically African because we weren't born and raised in the continent. Our culture was formed here. The innovations and the creations were formed here. So it's not the rejection of being African. I love the fact I know more about the Songhai Empire and ancient Ghana and Mali and all the Congo and all and Great Zimbabwe and all the different teachings and everything like that. We were raised on that. I was reared on that stuff like that. But so that's a love affair, and I'm very proud of that. But there is this experience that our ancestors had here that as we as a people embrace that becomes the ethnic priority for us. So it's not that we're pushing down on Africans. This is just a grand gesture and in love and in love with our ancestry here in the continental United States.
Okay,
And
I also have slave ancestry here in the continental United
but
States.
Joe, are you going to let me finish, or are you
Okay,
going to?
go ahead. But I'm going to
Yeah,
reply
and
after you.
let me explain the other part of that is not the fact that we went through that horrible experience of enslavement. Our ancestors went through a horrible experience in slavery that makes you super. Is the fact that you actually we're not victims of that. We're survivors of that, and we actually as we reclaim many things as part of our cultural aesthetic is reclaiming certain things. We reclaim a certain power and a brilliance from that, and so it's certain a mark of resilience. And so those things you're trying to contort into some kind of negative type thing, but you need to have a little bit more understanding of how we're phrasing these things. And it's not an attack on anybody to say we're resilient and we're proud of that.
All right, I'm like Glock. Go ahead and respond to that, and then I'll introduce the new guest.
All right,
Guys,
here.
I keep trying to invite you guys, and sometimes it boots you out. I don't know what's up with my thing. Just keep requesting up, okay? If I try to get you up here and you don't get up here. Go ahead.
Here is what is being communicated. This is the brass tacks of it. African Americans in this country experienced 350 years of chattel slavery, uh, not being treated as less than human beings. This is followed by
Not accurate. It's
uh,
200 and was it 282 years or something like
Yeah.
that?
You're gonna let him
16,
land. You're gonna let him land.
are
You're
you
gonna
going
let
to
him
let me
land.
I'm
speak?
sorry. I'm
You're
sorry.
gonna
Go
let him
ahead.
land. B1.
Go ahead.
This is the resentment that FBAs have. Their ancestors spent 350 years of chattel slavery, followed by 100 years of Jim Crow segregation, and being Willie Lynch, Jim Crowed, strange fruited, redlined, being treated as less than human beings, not having civil rights, being put upon by the white man. This is the experience. African Americans has experienced slavery more in the history of this country than they have, being free. That civil rights only came about in the 1960s, which is during the lifetime of many people who are alive today. So the resentment that FBAs have with immigrants is that after undergoing, this is the price that they paid for their citizenship: 350 years of slavery, 100 years of segregation, untold atrocities being committed on them by the hands of the white team. And now, a black immigrant can come here and get naturalized, become a citizen, and not go through any of that. and still have all the rights and privileges that they have today. This is the basis of a lot of the resentment that you're going to hear from FBAs.
That's
They feel
completely
no,
false.
listen. This is what it is. If you, I've been on many panels and we've teased this
So
out.
am I.
Okay, so because of the price that their ancestors paid, they feel that that makes them now more American. That they want to convert that into now
That is
we're the
Oh
nothing
yeah,
only
they
to
go. They
do
go.
with
Those,
it.
those immigrants are getting just what we got. That same
right.
suffrage. You
That's
guys have to
he's
go
a
through that.
no,
You
look, sir. He's an
immigrants.
intellectual contortionist because that's
It's not
not exactly
intellectual
what we believe.
contortion. It
That's
is.
not
It
Hold on.
is.
Are
exactly
you
what
gonna
we
let him
believe at
land?
all.
Let me
B1.
land.
Are you
Let me
gonna
land.
let? Are you gonna let the brother land though?
Okay,
Let
go
me
ahead.
land. Okay, so the high price that their citizenship costs relative to a black immigrant who comes here either on a student visa or H-1B visa, and they are invited to stay. They're brain drained from their country, brought to this country, and now these same people who paid their ancestors really did pay a legitimate high price. So I see the grievance there. Now they become black crabs in a barrel. Now they are the black crabs against any more immigrants coming over here. They see immigrants as like, oh, they're coming to take our resources. Now it's not the white T-man who did all these things to us. It's these immigrants coming to steal our resources. So it's a misdirected anger. The people who did those atrocities to you are not these African and Caribbean immigrants.
Well, let me make
And
a
I
point.
land.
I'm sure that people who actually do believe some of that, some of the lower wronged people, they're looking for things to be angry about. I think some of those people have maybe even have mental health issues. But but I've been involved with this movement for quite some time. I didn't even think about immigrants until this year. I didn't even know about
Oh,
some
we
of
know
the
that.
things.
Donald Trump had to show you. I know.
Yeah, I mean, it was like something I didn't even know.
You had no beef with
heard of
immigrants. You had no
Nigerians.
beef. You had
I
no
heard of
beef.
Nigerians and
You
whatsoever. I
had no
didn't really
beef with.
care what they were doing. None of
Yeah,
us do. Black Americans. Here's the thing: Black Americans are some of the most provincial people in this world. All we really care about is what we see outside of our window. So what happened here?
You wait.
And
You
the
just
reason
said
why
you
the
just said you're not a monolith a minute ago. Now you're talking. Now you're
that's
saying.
part of the cultural. That's the point of the
So
cultural
how are
framework.
you speaking for all Black Americans, sir?
I'm
Go
talking
ahead.
about my experience with Black Americans. I mean, in terms of our cultural framework whatsoever, we don't care. Simple as that. We don't care who comes here and what they did. What happens? They started attacking us online, attacking me online. I would get on the line and
This is why you can't speak for all Black.
well, I can speak for enough of them. I've been on enough of these panels, and I'm pretty well known on this app.
Are you sure it wasn't the roasting, sir? All this roasting.
No. Well, when they started getting
Let's
to
make
blocks
sure it's not the
and
roasting.
saying
Let's
you
make
are
sure it's not the
African,
roasting.
you are African. When they started that stuff,
Bro,
there
you
was
got
reactions
roasted
all
and your
over.
feelings were hurt, bro.
No,
You
that
got
wasn't.
roasted
That was
and
nobody.
You went on
my
too many
feelings
African
don't get
panels,
hurt.
bro.
We don't get hurt by roasting,
All
sir.
right, so again,
I have enough
you
bushmeat
didn't even.
recipes.
You had no
recipe
beef with
jokes to go
immigrants until
by.
this time around. You
Not
feel
true,
me? When
not
they,
true.
when
No,
they're being
I have the
deported.
bushmeat recipes. I know what your
All right,
GDPs
invite
are.
me to
I
dinner.
know what your
Invite me to
poverty
dinner.
rates are. So
Invite
I
me
know
to dinner.
exactly what's going on in
That's
Africa.
not true. FBAs have Black fragility. You're the most fragile
No,
people.
we're not.
You
No, we're
mentioned
not.
slavery and you crumble.
No, we're not.
All I have to do is
You're
hit you. If I hit
fragile.
you into slavery, if I hit you
No,
into slavery,
you're
you
fragile,
fold.
All right,
sir.
well,
We
all right,
survived slavery.
I don't
You
want to divert from the
guys barely
conversation, right?
survived
We don't. This is not.
colonialism. Your country's
Again,
a shithole
if this
for
is
a
going to be a
reason.
roast
All I have
session,
to do is
Your
slavery
country's a
is all
shithole
it
for a
takes.
reason
oh,
because
here you go.
you
B1,
couldn't even
relax.
get it going,
Relax.
sir.
You crash
You
out.
Hold on.
couldn't
Don't
even
crash
build
out. Don't crash. B1,
couldn't
don't
even
crash
build
out.
a functional
Don't crash.
society.
I just have
B1,
to
don't
mention
crash out. Hold
slavery
on,
and he
hold on.
crashes out. That's all I have to do. Go
I
ahead.
know. It's all right. It's all right. B1, you're gonna be fine. I have to
Thank you,
introduce.
sir. I'm
I
gonna
have to.
get going.
I have to introduce new guests. We'll
I
have
gotta
open
get going though.
All right, man. Take it easy. CJ, you're there. Welcome to the panel. Sorry. Thanks for being patient. Can you introduce yourself with your race and ethnicity, where you're from?
Yeah, just a Black American from America, man, from New York, North Carolina.
All right. Welcome to the panel, my brother. Go ahead and respond to anything that you've heard so far, or speak on this beautiful, lovely AI generated picture.
Now I was just kind of listening. I mean, I feel like B1 was on point. I mean, he's spitting some facts. I mean, I don't even understand what the problem is. I mean, if Black Americans want to classify ourselves as American, what's the issue? Why do we always have to include Africa in every single thing we speak about? Why can't we just be where we're from? I don't know anybody from Africa. None of my relatives are from Africa. My father's father is not from Africa. So why am I
Question.
going to mention anything about Africa?
Hold
I
on,
don't
let him
care
land.
about
Let him land.
Africa.
Clock. I want him to land. I want him to say everything.
Yeah, I'm
So,
done. I'm
and,
done.
all
I
right.
don't feel like I should
All
have to
right,
know
so
anything about
we're
Africa.
speaking to specifically FBAs. You know, we still honor, salute to the Black Americans, African Americans, people that still have an affinity to Africa, that know their roots, that know they're African, that trace their shit back. You know, that's who we talking to. We're not talking to the FBA. So our things against FBAs. If you're a Black American and you don't care about Africa, that's fine too. You know, but if you're an FBA, that's where you kind of we're gonna draw the line there. You know, Black MAGAs, FBA MAGAs. You know, but it's nothing. Just
I had a question.
you
I
don't.
had a
No one's no.
question.
Okay, no, let me just say this. No one's forcing Africa on you. Okay, no one's telling you. No one's trying to invalidate your experience and put Africa to you. Okay. Now, at least not me. At least not me. At least not now. If you want to go back and forth, whether Black Americans are more African than they are American, I mean that's a whole other conversation. But go ahead, Glock.
Okay, CJ, you said something interesting. Your father's father is American. So, are you indigenous to America? I just need to understand. Are you an indigenous person? Go ahead, sir.
I don't believe that the story of every single solitary Black American in America has origins from Africa. I think that's a
Okay,
lie
fine.
and it's made up.
So, did slavery happen, or is that a lie too?
I believe slavery happened because slavery came to us. I don't believe slavery was just about boats from the ocean and we all came here on a boat and every single one of us have descendants that were on some slave boat from Africa.
So you are indigenous, right? There's no
I
slave
do.
boats.
Wait a
There's no
minute. Wait a
slave
minute.
boats.
I do believe that there are a majority of people that did come from Africa. I do believe that some of us do have African ancestry.
But just not you. You're not the one, right? Your people are not African. Everybody, maybe other people are, but
What
you're
I'm
not.
saying is, I have not been able to verify or trace anybody any relative.
So you can't say either way. You can't say either way.
I can say I can well my father has done his genealogy and he has confidently said that
How far back? How far back does
You've
it
never
go?
taken a DNA, right? You're scared of the DNA. I'm
You
sure.
mean the genealogy?
Yeah. What year does the genealogy go back to?
What year does DNA go back to? Who created the DNA test that we take?
Okay, I get you. You're gonna deny science. DNA is like not true or something. But I'm asking you a specific question. You said genealogy. How far back does your genealogy go? What year?
I'd have to go back and look. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, for instance, on my mother's side, through my grandmother, we trace our lineage to a specific slave plantation in Raleigh, North Carolina called the Midway
North
Plantation.
Carolina, same here.
Okay, hang on, and this is like in the 1780s, right? Okay. But I hit a brick wall, and it's like a black box after that. I don't know anything before that. I can't get past
redacted history.
Right.
But
this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying to you. So, how far back does your genealogy go?
I'm going with what you're saying. I'm agreeing with you, but so you're basically saying because you hit a roadblock or a black wall, you're going to just assume you came from Africa?
Well, no, I know I come from Africa through a DNA test. My mother's DNA says that she's like
DNA.
80,
see, you fall for the DNA test.
80,
All those
like
DNA
80,
He's got genealogy the other way around. He's got genealogy the other way around. It doesn't matter. He's still African.
I can't have a conversation with somebody that believes in DNA because all those.
No, brother. I mean, how do they lock up people for evidence?
A DNA test cannot go back that far.
So okay, well that's what you say, bro. So you're totally against science though. Today's science, the white tea eugenics, right?
Who created those DNA tests?
Okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. But you cannot take away other people's. You questioning other people, finding out their roots, either through genealogy or through DNA, they can still link back to Africa. You know that. So it's don't be far-fetched and tell him that he doesn't know his stuff because he took a DNA test. He could have done a genealogy too back in Africa and found his people. So don't miscount.
Can you provide like an alternative of you not being from Africa? Like what's the alternative? Were you already here or did you come from Europe before that? Asia, South America?
Well, that's what we're trying to pinpoint with CJ here.
What's
the alternative?
If anybody wants to believe a DNA test, that's well within their right to do so.
Okay, CJ, let me ask you a question. Do you know what a non-paternal event is?
Explain.
Okay, a non-paternal event is something that happens very common. So it's an event that occurs when a father is listed on a document, a birth certificate, and analysis reveals that he's not the biological father. So, for instance, they did a recent study in the blood banks. So people who donate blood to a blood bank. They did a study in several different cities here in the United States, and they found a non-paternal event rate of 33%. What that means is that 33% of males in a population who are listed as the father on their birth certificate are not the biological father when analysis proves it's somebody else. So, going back, what this is significant to genealogies, because if that's happening today, it's happening moving back in time. So imagine 33% compounding each generation. What this means is that your genealogy is not accurate just because of this fact of non-paternal events, that the father, your
So you
grandfather,
want to
may not be your
malign his
grandfather.
father now?
No,
Hold on,
I'm just
Fat. Hold
proving,
on, Fat.
I'm just
We'll
using
get to you. All right.
I'm
Thanks for
just
being
using
patient.
genetic research. So because of non-paternal events, because of paternal uncertainty, the further back you go in the genealogy, the less reliable it becomes. But when it comes to biology, okay, my Y chromosome is an exact copy of my father's Y chromosome, which is an exact copy of his father's Y chromosome, going all the way back. Same with women. Your mother's mitochondrial DNA is an exact copy of her mother's mitochondrial DNA, which is an exact copy of her mother's mitochondrial DNA, going all the way back to mitochondrial Eve. So I just mentioned this to say that a DNA test can overturn a genealogy. A genealogy could never overturn a DNA test. This is why it's a gold standard in genetic relatedness. And I land the
Bro,
plane.
so you're convinced that everybody comes from Africa? There's no way.
CJ,
There's no
CJ,
arguing with
just
you.
here. I'm gonna give you a minute to respond. I know that was a lot to take in, right? So just go ahead. No open questions, okay? No open-ended questions. Just say what you want to say, and then I'm gonna move on to Fat because she's been waiting.
Yeah, like I said, I heard what the brother said. Everything he's saying is trying to point back to we all came from Africa. Look at the DNA test. Every single Black American that takes a DNA test is going to say, "We come from Africa. We come from West Africa." That's just a lie. There were dark-skinned melanated people here long before 1619. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, that's fine. What he's saying is he is African. He can prove it through all these different modalities of proving it and invalidate his form of
I'm not.
genealogy or
I didn't
no, hold
invalidate
on.
him.
I'm just saying, hold on. I'm saying for you to think that he's telling you you're African, he's only speaking on his own experience. For you to invalidate that experience would be, so again, he's not trying to convince you you're African. He's just telling you about how he's African. So that's what I'm saying.
But he's
So here,
also
let's move on.
no, that's not what he's saying. He's trying to make a point that he's African, because he took a DNA test, so that means all of us should take a DNA test and figure out that we're all African. That's what he's saying.
Well, that's what you heard. I heard something different. Maybe I'm wrong. Right. Let's move on with Fat. Stay tuned. We're gonna have an open panel. Fat, go ahead. Introduce me. Give me your race, your ethnicity, where you're from.
I'm Black and I'm from Florida.
You're Black. So Black is your race. What's your ethnicity?
My ethnicity is I'm American.
Okay, that's a nationality, but okay, we're gonna let that one fly. Go ahead, sister. You want to respond to anything that's been said, or do you want to address this art piece on the prompt?
Well, it just seems to me as if people are focused on trying to degenerate Black Americans for some reason because we don't want to associate with being African. Africa has 54 countries. And although you take a DNA test, it does not align you with what tribe you're from, what language you speak, and even what percentages you are based upon those groups. Africans don't even align by race. They align by tribe. And so when the slave trade commenced, they ran you around the tree of forgetfulness, basically. And they had the door of no return. They stripped you from your identity. And when those people made it over into the shores of America, they were brought over and they had to learn a new way of life, basically. And so, yes, I'm not going to disagree that Black Americans have African ancestry, but it's been cut off unless you can identify with a particular tribe, with a particular nation, and you have family. And if you do, that's great for you, but don't force on everybody else because we don't have that. We have what we created here, what our ancestors created here, what we contribute to this country here. And you even have white Americans now that are delineated. They have a foundational white Americans, where
I knew you were going to say that.
they're separating from the Ellis Island and the Angel Island people. This has been going on.
Yeah, and
The
you guys just
2030
followed. You
census is
guys
being
followed the
changed
manual.
to
You
go
guys
by
followed.
ethnicity.
I get it.
So I mean, I just don't get it.
All right. Well, let
I have
me.
no problem with being African. Let me speak. I have no problem with being a descent from Africa, but I don't know out of which one of those 54 countries my people come from. And out of those 54 countries, what tribe? And out of those tribes, what language? So you have to specify on all those things to claim that you're
Right.
African.
You know, we should do the same thing, Glock. We should say how many states do we have, or how many colonies do we have? 50, 51, 52? Out of all the 51 colonies, you FBAs are all the same? Like, no,
We're not FBA. We're not
okay.
FBA. We're Black American.
Okay, thank you
Okay.
for that. Thank you for restating that. Thank you. So what I wanted to say about that is there is vast diversity in America, just as much as there is in
Yes,
Africa.
but Black
So hold
America
on. Let
line
me
underneath
finish.
all
Let me
one
finish.
code.
now.
No. Let me say, because you never spoke about the different tribes in Africa.
I don't have to.
And we
Let me
all
finish. Let me
know
rant.
that they do not get along because they do not align.
Oh, and you guys all get along in the 51.
Yes, we do.
Okay,
We come
well,
together when
false.
we
Damn
need
lie.
to.
Sorry,
Our
Dale.
background has shown that we have.
Who are you? Are you the
But you have
ambassador?
Nigerians that
Are
don't
you the
get along with
ambassador? Are you-
Ghanaians. You have the
Stop it.
Somalians that are over
Again,
here fucking things up because they don't have a land
Stay
there.
out of African
Don't sit
business.
here and tell me
Stay out of
that
African
Africans.
business. Stop it. Now you're talking too much. Now you're not respecting the panel, right? You want an African panel, right? You want the red carpet here. You gotta slow the fuck down. All right. I mean that with all due respect. So
And that's
now,
a question I have. A question I have. You're indigenous to America, right? But which region in America? What
I didn't say I
state?
was indigenous. I didn't say I was indigenous.
no, I know.
You
Hold
said
on,
that.
Block. Let's not look. We're gonna pick. Look, we can pick her brain, but here I want to go to the new guest. I know
Okay.
she's ready. She came off another panel talking to Africans that way, and she just came up on a new panel. She doesn't know how we run shit here.
Yeah, she's coming in hot.
She's coming in hot. It's okay. It's all right. Hey, we forgive you, sister. We're gonna have an open panel. Midnight, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Welcome to the panel, brother. Can you state your race and ethnicity, where you're from?
Race is black, African American, Midwest.
Okay, welcome to the panel, brother. Go ahead if you have any thoughts of what has been said or speak on the prompt.
Yeah, I've been on your live a few times, Vibes. For Glocktavius, I'm assuming that's what it says. Make sure you. I would encourage you to ask these people what their political affiliation is, particularly the FBAs. I definitely think the overwhelming majority of them are Black Republicans. I don't know what the rebranding.
That's a lie, sir.
Lies.
Ma'am, guys, let the brother land, please.
I don't think I interrupted any of you guys.
No, he did not. Go ahead, bro. Don't worry.
So, like I was saying, the vast majority of the FBAs I've encountered on TikTok are Black Republicans. They support Trump or they support his policies. They're xenophobic. They're homophobic. They're anti-Black. They have no problem attacking Africans or Caribbeans, and they have no problem erasing African American history, denying the transatlantic slave trade, or questioning the numbers of people, talking about they don't add up, despite the fact that it's one of the most well-documented historical events in human history. I would encourage you to start asking these guys about their political affiliation or what type of policies they support. Do they think Ronald Reagan was a great president? Do they think Clarence Thomas is doing a great job? Do they support ICE? Do they support Trump's policies? Because a lot of them do. And it's ridiculous because they have come onto TikTok, and from what I've heard, Clubhouse, where a lot of this stuff, from what I've heard, started from the FBAs attacking Africans. They have the audacity to support policies of a party in a ideological faction of white conservatives that at most around 15% of African Americans support. They have the audacity to speak as spokespersons for our community when really they are a minority. And not only are they a minority within the African American community, they are a despised minority within the African American community. We view them as Uncle Toms. So this whole conversation about being indigenous or, our roots are here is superficial to me, because at the end of the day, I want to know, at the end of the day, where do you stand? Where do your politics stand? Let's cut through all that crap. because at the end of the day, it don't really matter. Where do you stand? Are you in line with white conservatives or are you in line with African Americans? Those are two different positions. I'm going to land there.
Hey, that's a great point, and I think we do
Well said. Well said.
we jump on it like I mean, that's the basics starting there with their political views, and then we're gonna go dive down the rabbit hole if they're American Indians or if they're everybody. They're the Anunnaki, they are the Mayans, they are the Olmecs, they are everybody besides African, right? So but yeah, that's a great base. I love that because that's my whole thing. You can tell by their talking points, literally. You can tell by their line of questioning, literally. You can tell they parrot this current administration, and they parrot, and they want to they want to mask their racism as patriotism for this colonial border United States corporation. All right, don't call yourself American. America is the whole continent. Okay, you chose to delineate from the rest of the American American continent. All right, and you're gun ho on this. Okay, so well stated, my brother. Let's go ahead and introduce Trouble. Welcome up. Salam alaikum, sis.
Alaikum salam. I just came up because I heard something and I wanted to get clarification. Are there any FBAs on the panel right now?
Black American.
Okay, so when he asked about political affiliation, when he said FBAs are like MAGA aligned, why did you guys unmute and object?
I don't know that made what he said has nothing to do with anything, in my opinion.
But if he
no, because just like any other group of people, we're not monolithic. No one is about a party, so that's just a perception.
No. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, you both identify as Black Americans, but when he said, ask these FBAs what their political affiliation is, you both and he said that they're usually MAGA. You both unmuted and objected to what he said.
That's his own opinion.
So are you FBA is what I'm asking? Because
you just
now
stated that we're Black American.
You just said we're Black American.
So is FBA and Black American synonymous?
No.
What? If you want to label us FBAs, that's your prerogative.
No, I'm just asking because why did you object?
First of all, FBA is a lineage. It has nothing to do about a party. It has nothing to do about a religion. It's about a lineage.
So FBA say the same thing. Tariq Nasheed loves that word, lineage,
well,
and
you can go on to Tariq Nasheed all you want. I never listened to him. So if you want to follow that fallacy, go ahead.
I mean, I've never heard that term as lineage. I mean, I've heard it. Don't get me wrong, but the way that it's like,
you want to receive it that way.
Can I ask a question to the Black Americans on the panel? How do you feel about immigration? Do you agree with Trump's immigration policies? Let's start there. Go ahead.
I don't even know what his policy is. All I know is that those are illegal. He's supporting, and I support that.
Okay, so how do you feel about ICE? You are in favor of ICE, I imagine, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
If they're given orders to do their jobs, I'm in support of that.
Okay, what about you, CJ Fit? How do you feel about ICE?
That stuff has nothing to do with anything, in my opinion.
But I'm just asking. We're just talking here.
My political views have nothing to do with being from Africa or not being from Africa.
Well, with this, you see the prompt, right? You see the Trump and the ICE and the boot licking. I'm just trying to see how much of the boot are you licking is what I'm trying to understand.
How much of the
So you agree with Trump? You're pro ICE. Okay.
You said that, sir. You keep saying that. I haven't said any of that.
I haven't said any of that. You're putting words in people's mouths at this point.
Okay, so you don't agree with ICE?
They're closeted FBAs, man. Just say
there's nothing closeted. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. I stand on what I believe, but you can't put words in my mouth to make me believe something that I don't believe.
Being an FBA has nothing to do. You're talking about two completely separate, different topics at the same time. You're trying to say because I'm an FBA, I support this and I support that. That's your own opinion, sir. I never said any of that.
So you are an FBA?
Yeah, I'm a little confused. So let's say this: Can a Black American be an FBA, or can an FBA be a Black American? Which one are they synonymous?
What did you just say? Repeat that, please.
So can the FBA be inclusive with Black American and vice versa? And then hold on. I ain't done. So FBA is a lineage. You said the same thing about Black American.
Black American is a lineage.
So are they two separate lineages?
No, they're the same lineage.
Okay, thank you. All right, we got our answer, guys. We got our answer.
Okay.
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 Yes,
Question.
but
Question.
because,
Is Salon a lineage? Is Salon a lineage?
I don't know
wait a
anything about
second.
Salon.
Okay. Are
Hold on.
black Israelites a lineage?
I don't know anything about that either.
You don't know nothing about that. Are black Indians a lineage?
I don't know anything about that either.
So you plead the fifth. You're pleading the fifth. I
I'm
got
not
you.
pleading any fifth. You're saying I'm pleading the fifth.
Okay. You're very wise. I see. You could be a politician.
FBA and Black Americans are the same thing, but there are Black Americans who choose not to call themselves FBA because of the way you people like you are trying to
Oh,
demonize.
you people. Now I'm
Oh,
you
I thought it
people.
was such a renaissance. So you're not proud of you won't say it with your chest out. You're gonna come in here as a Black American, so we won't scrutinize you like all FBS are being scrutinized right now.
But what's the difference?
So again, because you came in as a Black American and not
But
an
why do I have
FBS.
to
He
put
is a
the
Black
F?
American.
But why do I have to
Exactly,
put the
but
F?
it's all the same lineage.
Whether
So
it's the F, whether I say the F or not the F, it's the same thing. What is the
So
difference?
are you foundational or you're not foundational? Help me
they
understand.
already said it.
I am from America.
Okay. I get you.
How could I not? How could I be anything else if I'm
It's all right.
from?
Look, we don't have any beef with FBAs. We have a beef with Tariq
No, I
Nasheed.
think you want
And
to. You
and
want
no,
to
well,
have
so
that
FBA.
narrative.
So he's not your leader. I get it, right? But he is your owner. He's the ambassador. He
No, there is
branded.
no owner.
He
We're our own
branded it. He
people.
owns you. He owns the
No,
brand
no, he owns
FBA.
you because you're
He
obsessed with
owns the
him.
brand FBA. Go look it up. I don't
Well, I
have
know
It's
to.
a
he's
trademark.
trademarked
I don't have
it,
to.
but still,
Yeah, I don't have to
African
argue
American
with
is
you. I don't have to
African
argue.
American is trademarked as well. So
All right, by who?
I don't know who's trademarked, but
Exactly.
Google
So
it. It's
you don't say that.
trademarked.
No ethnicity is trademark. You can't
Okay.
trademark an
Well,
ethnicity.
we were
So
named
that's why they
African
added. That's
American
why
in
they
the
added. That's why
1980s,
they added
sir. We were named
foundation.
African
That's why
Americans
they
in the
added
1980s
foundational
after
to
many
Black American.
classifications.
Black
We were
American's
named
already
that.
ethnicity. All right, you
We
didn't
were
have to
named
add.
that in the 80s.
Go talk to your pimp, Mac
No, go talk to
Daddy,
your hoe.
fucking Tariq Nasheed. I don't want to hear it.
But hang on.
You go talk to your hoe.
Hang on. Colored, Negro, Black, and African Americans are all euphemisms that mean the exact same thing. It means that you come from Africa.
Well,
So
no, yes, I agree.
that's what it all
I
means.
agree.
That's what that
One
means.
says yes, one says no. They
don't.
don't. They can't even agree. They can't agree
I
on
No,
claim
it
that.
does not. No,
I
it
claim that, but I don't know anything about Africa.
Where do
Tell me what
Negroes
tribe
come
I'm
from? Okay, just because they tied Kunta Kinte to a tree and beat him till he called himself Toby doesn't mean that he's not African.
No one said that, sir. I asked you to tell me what tribe I'm from.
Girl, go do that research. I mean, we're not going to do that.
That's up
I've
to
done
you.
my DNA, and I
That's
have
like I
like
said,
25
Glock is
nations in
obsessed
Africa. So
with
tell me which one I'm from.
classifying everybody
Girl,
with
pick
dark
one.
skin as
Pick
being
one.
from Africa.
How are you gonna pick one? Just tell me,
have-
because
you-
when you
you
go
have
there,
to-
the
You chose
Chinese
black.
don't like the Nigerians.
You chose
so tell me
FBA.
which tribe I'm from.
You
chose
are
FBA.
obsessed with claiming everybody is from Africa.
But you know what? I think this is
No,
precisely
we speak
why.
for ourselves. We speak for
This,
ourselves.
I think this is precisely why African Americans are owed reparations, because this is what the white T-man stole from you. He stole your language, your
I think
culture,
the
your
Africans
identity.
are the ones that's trying to claim reparations, aren't they not?
No, it's
Yes, they are.
FBA's.
They just went before the union trying to claim reparations after they've been given aid for what, thousands of years? It's the Africans.
But hang on.
Nations went and requested reparations.
They spoke before the UN asking for reparations.
We had our own white people to fight. Stop it. All right.
Just because slavery happened in America does not mean everybody got here from a boat in Africa, okay? I have relatives that have been to Africa, and half of those people don't even know what the heck they're talking about when they talk about this big transatlantic millions of Africans.
So it's a conspiracy. That's transatlantic slave trade is a conspiracy that's designed
I
to
agree that
pull
it
the
did
wool over
happen,
your
but I
eyes.
just want you to tell us where we're from. Since
It's
I've
not a-
done my
it's not a
DNA and it splits
it's
up
not a
my
conspiracy.
African DNA to maybe what, 15 different parts? So which one am I?
It's not a conspiracy. What
Pick
it
one.
is
No, I can't pick one because Igbos don't like the Hausa, so I can't pick one.
And the fields don't like the house Negroes.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
we do.
again,
Yes,
nobody-
we do.
nobody
We work
cares.
together. Ask Harriet Tubman.
just because the transatlantic slave trade happened does not mean every single solitary quote unquote FBA.
We heard you already, but that's not our claim. That is not
What's
our
your claim then? What is
Our
your
claim is we're African. We know we're African. You don't have
Well,
to
good.
convince us.
I'm
you.
happy
That's
you're.
good for
I'm
you.
not
All
trying to
right,
deny
well,
that you
all
are
right,
African.
all
I
right.
want you
Well,
to
stop
celebrate
hating.
that.
Stop hating.
Because you know that you know what.
Nobody's
what
forcing
language
you.
do you speak? What tribe are
Nobody's
you
forcing
from?
you.
What tribe are you from, sir?
I'm your daddy. Okay, let's
No,
start
you're
there.
not my daddy. Tell me what tribe
Yeah,
you
so
from,
if you let
sir.
Tariq Nasheed be your daddy, I
No,
sure.
no.
I'll get in
What tribe are
line.
you from? Are you Swahili?
Listen, sister, you don't know
You speak
yours.
Swahili?
You're not mine. I'll tell you that. We don't claim you.
So
Well, I don't want you to claim me, but you want me
All
to claim
right, so
Africa. I do claim it, but I don't know
no
which
one.
tribe.
I just said that we don't care if you claim it or
Which
not.
okay? Let me
Clearly,
so
ask.
you do.
fat.
You keep
Wait,
saying
let
we're
me ask her
denying
a
that we're
question.
African.
But fat. Let me ask
I
you a
never
question.
said that, by the way. I never
Fat.
said
Let
Yes,
me
you did.
hold on, Fat. Let me ask you a question. Do you experience discomfort, or does it pain you that you don't know what tribe you come from? Is that a
No,
source of pain? Do you lay
no,
awake at night wondering what tribe you come from?
no, I don't.
Hey,
So
yo,
okay, why is it important then? Why
No,
is
because
it
you
my
keep
fault?
telling
Why
us
is
that
it
we're
my fault?
African.
Why is
You
that
keep
my
saying
fault?
that we're denying that we're African. So I'm letting you know that I accept that. I just don't know which tribe I'm
why
from
do
or
you
which country I'm from.
why do
So
you
I
accept
wholly
that?
accept
Which
it. I'm
one?
not in
Which one?
denial.
Which one of your
So that's
relatives has?
it.
Which one of your relatives has told you they're from Africa? Who? Your grandmother? Your great grandmother? Your great great grandmother? Who has
No,
told
I'm
you?
going based upon his logic that I did my DNA and it shows 15 different countries in
And
Africa.
I'm gonna tell you that you shouldn't go by that. Don't listen to these people because that is a lie. If you don't
Well,
know
that's what they
anybody,
want to go by. They want scientific
so
proof. And
let
the
them.
DNA shows I
Let
have
them
15 countries in Africa and maybe 3% early
listen
American
to me.
and 2%
If none
native.
of your
So, which one am I?
if none of your direct relatives have told you that you are from Africa, then stop believing that BS.
So wait a minute. If so, you're telling me that just because you don't know, okay, a person who is kidnapped from Africa and is raised in another country, how are they not African?
I didn't say I wasn't African. I said, which
That's what
country am I?
CJ is saying. Oh, because I don't know, I don't have knowledge of
Okay.
it. That
Oh, I
means
know.
I'm not African.
That is as the story goes. All of us have some.
My lineage is
Sister, I
American.
wish I could give you those
And I
results. All
love
right.
my American lineage. So yes, I have the melanin to
Hoorah!
be African, and my DNA says that I am, but I don't know which tribe, which country, whatever. So until that's discovered, I'm
All
a
right, let's
Black
start. Let's
American.
start with this. Let's start with this. What was the DNA result? We need to know all of them.
I can't give you the different. It was 15 countries.
What's the biggest
Exactly.
one? What's the
That's what I
biggest
thought.
one?
It was
That's what I thought.
about.
That's
It
what I
was
thought.
about.
They're all in Africa,
It
right?
was
They're
about
all in Africa.
60%.
Give me the majority.
60%
Give me the
in
majority.
Africa.
Give me the majority of the
And
percentage. Which
it
one
was-
was the majority?
It was 60% Africa, and the rest was Europe and early American and indigenous.
Are those haplogroups?
Oh my
No.
God.
You got nothing. You got nothing else.
Those are percentages of 100.
That's
What was the
ridiculous.
DNA test called? What was the DNA test called?
It was the ancestry DNA.
Do you know who owns those?
Oh, I know, but that's the one everyone likes to use, though. They like to use those.
Who owns them? Do your
I know that's what they like to use, though. So I'm gonna go with that.
Man, when you look in the mirror, do you see a white person or a black person? What
No,
looks
I
back at
already
you?
said I'm a Black American. So why would I see a white person?
You said only 60%. So are you like a Mariah Carey? Are you like a Mariah Carey looking?
Well, you do know that black comes in the fair shade to the darkest of dark. It has nothing to do with the percentages, sir.
First of all, black is an.
All right. Glock, can we move on? Please?
Okay, let's
Thank
move
you,
on.
sister.
Let's move
hang
on.
it.
Yeah.
Y'all hang on there. Good conversation.
List. Who is new here? Did Midnight spoke already, right? All right. Fire Blaze. What is your race, your ethnicity, and what do you have on either the prompt or what you've heard so far? Go ahead.
I'm African in America, and the FBA are bootlickers. These people, they have become the number one cheerleaders of the MAGA. Now they even have a cult called a Black MAGA, and they are going against the basic ideologies of their grandfathers, and they are undermining it to the point
Did you know
where
their grandfathers?
Hold on, sister. Let the brother land, please.
their grandfathers are our people. They call themselves African Americans. Malcolm X and them. Those are our people. Malcolm X, because he
Let
went
him
with us in
finish his
Africa.
thought, sister. I'll let
Malcolm
you
X
guys
went
talk.
to
All right.
Africa, man. Malcolm
Let my
X
African brothers
went to
speak.
Africa.
All right.
Malcolm X understand that he was African. Malcolm X told us he's African, so therefore he's our people. So I don't know if Malcolm X is your people, but I know Malcolm X is my people and the Black Americans and the African Americans over here. This new thing called FBA I never hear Malcolm X said he was part of it. And this new 18 called FBA is dancing with the MAGA, is over here going after Caribbean. Anybody that doesn't feel, they don't feel like it's part of the United States. They are going after the I call these people the Afro Latinas, the Haitians, all of these people. So this alone, all these signs is telling me that there are some people who betray Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and those people who have children, they have give birth to new children, and somehow this behavior that we are seeing is similar to those who unalive Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. This behavior is coming from the FBA. And I'm not saying it's all the FBA who are like this. I've met some FBAs who have said that they understand that they have African ancestry. You understand? But you also have within this FBA a far right extremist who want to unalive the people that look just like them, just like what they did to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. And please prove me wrong.
What? So
All right, thank you, brother. Appreciate that insight. Appreciate. Look, hold on. You guys, relax. Can you guys wait for your reactions? I mean, we already heard from you guys. Please relax. Let's move on. So we got who's that?
So next up, we got Go.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's your race, your ethnicity, and what are your thoughts on the prompt of what you've heard so far? Go ahead.
Hello, I am I'm Jack. I am from Martinique. It's in the Caribbean, and I wanted to add two things to say. For that, the first thing is what you are talking about the UN going to the UN for reparation. It is actually a CARICOM winter to ask for reparation. They are not African. Those are Caribbean islands of descendants.
For Africans.
Yeah, they are descendants of slavery. We also went to chattel slavery. It is not. I feel like that is one thing a lot of FBA they forget. We went to chattel slavery as well. We don't know our ancestry in Africa. Also, we went to a lot of the same kind of issue. So that is why they were asking for reparation, because we were also enslaved by the same people. Sometimes, like by the British, the French, the Spanish, and two. I am a bit confused because it seems like neither of the FBA on the panel can even come to an agreement of what FBA is, and
I told you what that is.
Not really. Is
again? You guys don't speak for all FBAs. Relax. Hey, Ambassador, relax, Ambassador. Hey, go ahead, brother. You're right. You're 100% right. They don't understand. They all have a different definition of what an FBA is. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, like Fat is talking about the DNA, of course, and like how they're not in. She's saying she's not denying that she have African roots, which is not issue. I'm just saying that this, and then CJ is saying that the DNA is not real and you cannot go off DNA, but they are both saying that they are like the same, like that they are both FBA, I think, but I don't know.
FBA is a lineage, sir. It has nothing to do with genetic DNA testing. It has to do with your roots being in America from the 1860s backwards. It has nothing to do with your ideology or politics. It has to do with the culture of people that came out of slavery, who went through Jim Crow, who suffered terrorist attacks from white tea and other groups of people. It's a lineage.
Yeah, I love how that lineage cuts off anything that was prior to that. Like getting snatched up off the coast wasn't okay. So
the forming of America,
right? It's like you didn't suffer the way we suffered in America, so you're all different.
We had a coming together as a lineage, as a group of people prior to the forming of this nation, and after.
But FBAs are delineating. So what are they delineating from? What lineages are they delineating?
Our people are delineated because of the fact of the.
So you acknowledge
from Africans.
So you acknowledge your African lineage.
Yes, I do.
And that's where we differ, because I don't.
Yeah, and that's where you guys two differ. That's why the brother's saying you guys all. I know. So again, you guys don't have. Okay, listen, you guys aren't FBA. You're not the face of FBA. All right, we're gonna give you guys a pass because
it's not a movement. It's a lineage.
Oh my God, are you reading from Tariq Nasheed's website? Because that's exactly what it says.
That's the base of
That's
it.
exactly what it, word by word, verbatim. You just read what he says.
You won't receive that. That's what it is.
Stop it. No. Y'all
gonna
thought
man?
reading the manual. Y'all thought reading the MacBook was gonna help you through this process, but it's not.
What do you think, FBA?
Hurry up and delineate. Hurry up and help us. Help you delineate. I don't want y'all to tippy toe and be Black Americans one day, FBA's FBA's another day, and then say that African Americans are. It's all synonymous. We're everybody. We're everybody besides African. This is what I always get.
We are African. We're African descent. Some of us.
Differ, but you differ with the other FBA brother on.
No.
Yeah, what CJ is saying. CJ said no. CJ said no. Thank you. See, so you guys are clashing.
He has decided he is not of African descent.
So back to what the homie, back to my other brother. Hold on, sister. So back to what the brother was saying before. You guys are not on the same page. You guys are not on accord about. I know it's an ideology. It's literally an ideology, is what it is.
No, listen, this is where we differ. This is where me and her differ. She is choosing to accept the pressure of having to admit of her African ancestry, even though she has no idea where that actually stems from. She's just choosing to go along with that lie, and where I don't at all.
Okay, wait. So CJ, do you she is saying and you are saying that you don't have African ancestry. You are not from the transatlantic slave trade or anything like that, and that you are indigenous. So are you Black? Are you not Black? Are you are you even Black American at this point? If you
my ancestry goes back to a plantation and slavery. I just don't believe it all stems from Africans being.
I mean, I'm sorry. That should not make it a deal breaker or deal. That should not, break this, because there are people from even Europe, there are people from Ireland who only can trace their DNA back to a plantation before when indentured servitude was happening. Does this make them also FBA? If they what is how does this? It's confusing how the rules of FBA
they've claimed all the legends. They've claimed all the icons. They've named everybody since. They've named everybody a FBA. They wanted to be all that lineage. Sorry, do I hear myself speaking? I don't think so. You guys can't take credit for people that went to the grave talking about they're African. You're mad at them. You're mad at our ancestors.
They didn't say they were African, sir. You call them African.
You mad? No, I'm not talking to you, girl. I'm talking to the FBAs. I'm talking to the FBA strictly.
My great grandmother never mentioned nothing about no Africa at all. Period.
All right. Well, mothers can lie. Grandmothers, they forget. They're really forgetful.
I've done my genealogy. I can't locate an African on my genealogy.
Y'all gotta stop being so sensitive. I swear to God.
No, I've done my genealogy. And I can't locate an African, but I located my genealogy.
All right.
The most disrespectful thing these Africans do is call.
I want to hear from Midnight, and then we'll have an open panel. Wait, I'm gonna let the brother go land. Is it go? Yeah, go. Go ahead and land your point, brother. Then I want to hear from Midnight, and then we're gonna have an open panel.
It's okay. Midnight can talk. I have nothing to say.
Go ahead, Midnight. You haven't talked.
I would like to say something. Because my question was this: there are some who says they are FBA, and they understand that their grandfathers come from Africa, and then you have some of those who are the extremists. That's my problem there. Those who are the extremists who are bootlicking the MAGA. To the point they open some panels. Some of them are saying that they should start unaliving Africans. So what are the FBA who are saying that they have African lineage? What are they going to say about those people? Because to me, at this point, they sound like it's a hate group.
Yeah,
Government
facts,
has a
facts.
name that
What
doesn't
they're
exist
trying,
yet,
what they're
sir.
what they're trying to do, brother, is they're trying to make Black Americans synonymous with FBA, so they can have, so it comes right under the 14th Amendment, right? Because they created it, for everybody to get here, right? They
Yeah,
want
for the
to.
descendants of the
They
slaves.
want a Black American to be synonymous with FBA, but we can't let that happen, right? They got to pick one or the other. They want to delineate from that. Hold on. Nobody asked y'all nothing. They want to delineate from the term African American. They want to delineate from the term Black American. Why add foundational to it? Don't add your brand to an ethnicity. So again, I got the Tariq
Our
Nasheed, ban
ethnicity
Tariq
is our
Nasheed,
brand.
ban Tariq Nasheed from social media because
Our
he's a hate
ethnicity is our
group
brand.
hating on
He's not a hate group.
Africans. Okay, they're hating on Africans. He's hating on Africans. If you want to hate on Africans, we're not going to get along. And if you want to go instead, you can go sign that petition that bans that leader / owner of that brand called FBA. Okay, so I mean,
Freedom of speech,
people are
sir.
not. Yeah, thank you, sister.
Which is why I introduced myself as
So
Black
so I
American.
got the I got the link in my bio. You guys can take 2 minutes. It's not going to take that
But
long.
did I introduce myself as an FBA or did I say I'm a Black American?
I think you said Black American. Yeah. You're good.
Okay.
You're good. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Stoke. A homie here. Hold on, guys. Again, hey, if the shoe fits, wear it, okay? If the shoe doesn't fit, don't wear it. Anyways, we're gonna go back. Midnight, do you have anything to say before I open up the panel? I know
Yeah.
these two people want to say something. They can't be patient like you, Midnight. Go ahead, Midnight.
Yeah, I never heard of FBA or these pretendians until I came onto TikTok last year, and I'm 50. I've been calling myself African American my entire adult life. Jesse Jackson did not call us that. I think these guys talk about FBAs are not a monolith, but they don't seem to comprehend that African Americans, the consensus amongst this nation state sized population within the United States of America, embraced African American and Black American as interchangeable. Never heard anybody complain about it until now. There is a term that some white nationalists are using lately. You can Google News this term, heritage American. Has a similar ring to it, like FBA. I don't define FBA by what their rhetoric. I define them by their collective activity. And the collective activity of FBA has been very right wing, aligned with white supremacy, pro Trump, pro Republican, pro conservative. I've watched FBA use white tea supremacist talking points, attacking Africans and Caribbeans, and trying to erase the transatlantic slave trade and trying to undermine DNA. These people who act like they don't have any cells, any chromosomes, hence any DNA, you're pseudo intellectuals. You're engaged in pseudoscience because the science, the facts don't match your worldview. These people can't delineate from anybody. They've delineated themselves from the African American community. And unfortunately, Africans and Caribbeans are getting a real taste of why African Americans look down upon these individuals. They're the handmaidens of white supremacists. And their actions are just as deadly as a white supremacist actions. So they can talk all they want, but their actions is what defines them. And I'll land there.
Damn, good, really good point. Hey, Midnight, I try to follow you, but you're on private or something. Just it won't let me follow you, so follow me. I saw you. I forget what panel it was, but yeah, really good points. Really, really good points. I mean, that's all we're trying to say, guys. All we're just trying to say is that it all looks very familiar to us, And just because you're a white nationalist in blackface, you painted your face. Your face is already black, but you painted it again. You overpainted it with paint to oblige or appease the people that are in charge right now. So you want the pie. You have the pie, but now
What about the faces that look like
Hold on.
Africans or Black Americans?
What?
And what about the faces that
Wait,
look
hold
like
on.
Black Americans?
What
for
about the?
Africans
Okay, so
in the sense of knowledge.
those are your black faces, right? Those are your
Yes,
tethers,
exactly.
right?
That's what I'm saying. They appear
Exactly.
they're black.
So
They're black presenting, and
so
then they're supposed to
yeah.
represent Black Americans.
So
And
they're
what they're doing is like
right,
Sheila McCormick, who is
right.
Haitian,
So
who went and
they talk
stole
about
$5 million
assimilation, right? They talk
and
about
proposed a
assimilation,
bill
right?
to take the money
They
from
talk about
America and send it
So
to
you guys
Haiti.
tether onto white
So these
culture.
people
You
who are
guys
supposed to be
speak
representing
English.
Black
You guys are
Americans are
Christians.
not
You
representing
guys are
Black
Democrats or
Americans. They're
Republicans.
representing
You
other
guys are
nations.
in the same boat. You're in the same
No,
boat.
we're not, because
I
I'm
don't.
not
You're in the
Christian.
same boat. Yeah. It don't matter what you are. You want to keep
But you're
separating,
saying
but
that we're in
we
the
say that
same boat. So what boat are we
I'm
in,
saying
sir?
you don't even know who you are, is what I'm saying.
I do
And
know who I am. I told you
you're
I
mad.
am.
You're mad because you don't know
I'm
what
not
African
mad.
tribe
I'm
you come from.
happy.
You want me to tell you
No, I
what
don't
you
need to
are.
know that. Why would I
And
need
then
to
you're
know
gonna
that
use
when my
that. You're
tribe
gonna
is
use
in
that to be like,
America
you
since the
can't tell me I'm not
1400s?
American. And who
Why
wrong?
would I
Have a
need
good
to be
job.
mad about that?
Do we need to like applaud you because you're American and not African?
No, I accept
So
me
stop
and I accept
crying.
you being
Why
you.
are you crying? Oh my God. Fat, relax.
You being you.
Relax, girl, please give me an aneurysm. Go drink some water real quick. I think you need a timeout because you're taking this way too personal. But here, let's invite new guests. Unity, welcome up, brother. Welcome back. Introduce yourself with your race, ethnicity, where you're from, and you can chime in.
Black American, African, I don't know. I'm so confused these days, but I guess I'll claim Black African American from North Carolina.
If you're from North
All
Carolina,
right, brother. Welcome to the.
why are you confused? If
Let
you're
me
from
say
North
this.
Well,
Carolina,
hey, leave the brother. Let the brother talk without you guys interfering, please.
Yeah, and I'm
Go ahead,
gonna
brother.
be very quick. I'm gonna land this plane very quickly. Trust me, it's gonna get landed quick, and it's gonna cause some conversation. But let me just say this, y'all. I'm listening, and Vibes, you know, I'll listen, I'll chime in, but I had to chime in because one thing when I was listening, one thing kept popping in my mind: CIA, FBI. I'm just telling y'all, some enemy has come in and put a wedge between this whole thing. I'm trying to tell you, you could take it or leave it alone. And I'm going to land with this and I'm going to shut up. Who is taking this and running with it is people with lack of knowledge. If you don't have good knowledge, sound, factual knowledge of who you are, you're going to get caught up in this mess.
What's that mean?
It's not a threat. It's not a threat. It's a promise. It's a promise. You're not going to survive here because, like,
I'll tell you what it means. This is what it means, and I'm gonna mute after this. What it really means is we have to do some due diligence on our research. I'm telling you, and I know someone is gonna say, "Well, who's to say your research is better than someone else's?" That's up for debate. That is up for debate. I will say that, but it's the CIA is all up in them wedged black people away from each other with this foolishness.
We were never together, sir.
You just said you don't even know who you are. You just said, I don't know if I'm black or African. I don't even know.
Because I was joking. I'm actually a Fulani African. I mean, if you want to, I know exactly who I am. I was actually joking.
Oh, didn't sound like a joke.
Guys, can I say this?
They're like, what a traitor. We thought you were a black American like us.
I wanted to accept being Fulani.
Y'all sound hella disappointed. Y'all sound hella disappointed.
No, I'm not disappointed. I can listen to him and tell he's not a.
That's so xenophobic right there. I can listen to him and tell.
Yeah,
that's what FBAs love to say. Oh, I can tell by your accent you're not an FBA.
We can tell.
Y'all crazy. Y'all hear yourselves? Y'all hear yourselves?
Yeah, guys, can I say this? I was dropped by mistake, but I will have to say this. Look at the whole situation. Your grandfathers left a path in the bush, right? This is a pathway in the bush, right? But you came 30 years, 40 years later, you say you want to create your own path.
My grandfathers fought in the Revolutionary War, sir.
Okay, what does that have to? What does that mean?
It means they didn't come from a bush.
Sir, I mean, ma'am, it's an analogy. If you don't get it, then sorry, ma'am. I'm just
Hopefully,
making an
it's
example.
describe it a little bit better, please.
It went over her head. Again, don't interrupt, guys.
yeah,
Let him
like I
talk.
say,
Let the
if I don't
brother
land,
talk.
you might not get where I'm coming from. Our grandfathers have created a path in the jungle for us to find our way back home. And this path is still there, it's visible. 30 years, 40 years, we came to this same circle or this junction when we only see one path which our grandfathers have left for us. How about we walk through that path, because our grandfathers have never lied to us. Malcolm X have never lied to us. All these great people that we spoke about have never lied to us. They are the one that actually paved the way. And that's the way that I'm talking about, that path that we are looking at. But now we're choosing to take this other path that doesn't similarly look like us. It looks like the MAGA. It looks like it's a PSYOP. It looks like some of these people are being paid as they are creating their own path. It's bound for destruction. Follow the path that your grandfathers have left for you. You will never lost your way back home. And
My
they did it.
grandfather is from
Hello,
America.
can I finish, brother? And they did this not by mistake, but they understand that some of the Africans or Caribbeans who are coming here, they are all intertwined. They're going to have babies together. And that's why they call themselves African American, because
Background.
okay, but that doesn't mean that there hasn't been a Black American and a Jamaican that has a baby. That doesn't mean that there's a Nigerian, and a Black American didn't have a baby.
Nope,
That
the birth
doesn't mean that
certificate
there
says
is
different.
that doesn't mean that there is a Afro Latino and a Black American that have a baby. Yes,
The
they do.
census
They are
says
all
different.
here. They are all here. And they understand that we are intertwined. Our struggle is all intertwined. Pan-Africanism is bigger than what you think it is. All these nations are just called the Caribbeans, the Black Americans, the Afro-Latinos. These are all Pan-Africanism, including the African
I'm not a
continent.
Pan-Africanist.
It's bigger than what you think it is, man.
Oh my
It's
God,
bigger
fat.
than
Close your fat ass
MAGA.
mouth. I
It's
swear to God.
it's bigger than MAGA. It's bigger than Europe itself. It's bigger than Pan-European itself. And your
Again, brother,
grandfathers know that. Your grandfathers know that. The white supremacy cutouts here know that crap. That's why they're scared of you black folk.
she doesn't want to recognize any of those, they only love their unique lineage, which has to have white tea blood in them. As soon as they hear
Claim
African,
white tea.
I don't. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you anything. Oh my God, I forgot what I wanted to say.
That's the biggest threat to white supremacy, or even every white supremacy all over the world. That's the biggest threat. And like I said,
she wants to say, I'm not African, but she told us she has a DNA that links, she understands that FBAs are African. Hold on. So she likes to play around. She likes to tippy toe. She likes to say, I'm African, but then she's like, I'm not African. I have nothing to do with those people.
You are tippy
So she's on the fence, obviously. She wants to play both sides. That's okay.
She kind of is playing both sides. I'm not gonna lie.
So it's all right.
I'm telling
we
you
already clocked
shows.
you, sister. It's all right. But anyways, he's just telling you about all these mixes of people, and you're like, no, no, that's not, didn't happen. No. You don't want to recognize our unique lineage. You only want to see yours. You only want to see yours as you want to be premium black. Okay, that's what you want to be. But that's all you guys are. Y'all wannabes. If you want to punch down on other black people, global black people, black pan blackness, you're losing this war. I'm just saying.
You're taking your aggression out on us when it should be Tariq Nasheed.
No, not you guys. I'm talking to FBAs. Remember, you guys aren't FBAs. Remember, so I'm talking to FBAs. So don't take shit personal. All right, especially on this live. But here, let's have an open panel. I have to walk into the store. I'm walking right now. You guys be I don't have any mods. Hold on.
Misfat and Mr. CJ. Sorry.
I'll make Midnight a mod. If you're still here, Midnight, I'll make you a mod. I'm gonna go in this store. You guys be respectful, one at a time, okay?
What's up? You asked me a
Oh,
question.
Yes. So
hold on. I'll do it.
I was going to ask you. So you understand that a lot of people from around the world, like a lot of black people from around the Americas and from Africa, also did they are very much into how to say they helped a lot with Black American. In fact, during the civil rights movement, a lot. This is not very known, but a lot of African, a lot of American from around the Americas came to aid them in the civil rights movement, including my own grandfather. My grandfather is born in Panama, and he moved to New York City in Brooklyn. And there was a picture I have of him. He was a bodyguard for a lot of civil rights leaders in the 60s. My own father was even born in Brooklyn. Like this is like you guys are, and even into the 90s with South Africa, even Black American with the same people who helped them with their civil rights movement. We went to South Africa to help them with their own civil rights movement against the apartheid. And it is like it's sad to see how you excuse me. It is sad to see how you go away from this other group when you can see that black as an idea is very worldwide. It is not just American. You have to look around.
This has nothing to do with hating or disliking Africans. It's about having our own separate ethnicity group.
There is already. Nobody says you never had a separate ethnicity group.
But everybody with melanated skin is not considered a black man. If a Nigerian comes to America, he's a Nigerian. He's not a black American man. Black.
Okay, brother, I want to ask you a question. Okay, I understand that. Just as when you have black American saying that they don't know where they come from in Africa, that's fine. We understand that, right? But when it comes to the movement itself, which our grandfathers have left, that path, which is Pan-Africanism, which bring all of us together, that's
not part of that movement.
Speak for yourself, ma'am. I'm speaking for the African Americans and the Black Americans who were all together back in those days, Malcolm X and the rest of them.
This is a new day.
Well, you create your own path and go dance with the MAGA and the white folk. We are here as Pan-African, Black American, African American, Caribbean, Afro-Latina, Africans,
well, good. We celebrate
Black
that. You go with that movement.
Black British, all in one banner.
Good.
So if you want to get out of that banner, go dance with your devilish folks, okay?
No, I
and
can
I think the delineation now, we, the Pan-Africanism, gonna be now the ones to actually push you and go delineate with your folks,
I
your
think
MAGA
the
folks.
Constitution
Because
tells me
we are
who I
seeing
am.
where
You
all
can't
this
push me
is
into
going.
anything.
We are seeing where all this is going and where you guys stand
No, the
politically.
Pan-Africans can stand
because
with their own.
when it comes to Pan-Africanism, that's a political movement.
Okay.
So now politically, you are standing with the MAGAs.
No,
so
I'm
please
standing
go
on my
and dance
lineage.
with the MAGAs and your new
My lineage
family
has
and your
nothing to do with
new path that
Pan-Africanism.
you have your new path that you have created. We are standing with the family. The family
Well, go ahead
tree
and stand with
stands
the family.
strong.
I stand on my
The
lineage.
family tree is bigger than what you think it is.
Okay, great. I wish you luck.
So, but it was the other. I think it was Midnight who said this. I was actually going to say this too, but you understand that by delineating, you are already a minority in your own community.
That's
so
fine.
It is, you are not delineating African American or Black American FBA away from other groups, but you are delineating yourself away from your own community and every other
from all
community.
groups.
So it is. So you do not feel lonely. You are by yourself
No.
now. It is not anyone with you. Your own community, other Black American.
No, because none of my family have immigrant backgrounds, so I'm fine.
Yeah, they have been adopted by MAGAs, so we know
we
where
don't
they
have
stand
any immigrant
politically.
backgrounds in our family.
No, he said MAGA, like Donald Trump.
No,
we
that's
are
not part of
speaking
our
politically here. Politically, they are dancing with the MAGA
I
and the
vote on my
IC
own
people.
basis, not on part of a party.
You guys are trying to intertwine politics with
I'm not doing that.
Lineage. I don't know how that has anything to do with anything.
if you're saying that you're not part of Pan-Africanism, which Pan-Africanism is a political movement,
I'm not a part of a
then
political
yes.
movement.
Okay, well then I guess you can dance to the magas then. Thank
No,
you.
that's another movement.
That's actually not another movement. Look,
Yes,
I
it
like I
is.
said, hold
Yes,
on,
it is.
Fat. Hold on, Fat. I do
They're
have
delineating from the Ellis Island people. So no.
Fat. You got to stop talking over people. He left me with mob powers. I can
Okay.
drop you. So please just be respectful and let everybody land. We can still listen to you talk. The people on TikTok and FBA, people who call themselves FBA, and the people who claim to be indigenous, they do share the politics. The majority of them that I've encountered are aligned with what's inside the Republican Party. You can deny it. CJ can deny it. But when others encounter these individuals and we listen to these people who exercise their free will, their agency, they do share their politics. They are 9 times out of 10 aligned with the Republican Party. I mean, if you two want to talk about who you voted for in the past, that's fine. So we can get a better idea of what your politics are. You can call yourself FBA all you want. You can call yourself indigenous all you want. At the end of the day, it's all about your politics. And I'll land there.
No, it's not.
I'm not a part of a political system, sir.
Midnight trying to put politics into somebody's ethnicity.
I'll ask this question, guys. If you are not a part of the politics, are you for the deportation?
If you're illegal, yes.
Well, thank you. You are participating in politics. So,
No, because
like
you're
I
legally
say,
not supposed to be in this country.
everything
Can I
that
go
has
to Ghana
to do
and be
with the
illegal, sir?
country is political.
Every country has its own laws of the land.
I understand and I respect that. If you came here illegally, that's fine. But you cannot advocate for people who are here legally, and
I'm
just
not
because you
advocating
don't
for
like
anyone.
you don't like them, or the Caribbean who came here legally, just because you don't like them, you now saying you want to delineate not just from those people, but also from the Pan-African movement. You just said
No,
it
I
here.
said I was
And
not a
the
part of
Pan-
Pan-African.
and the Pan-African movement is bigger than what it is bigger than your so-called white tea movement or
Pan-African
your
is
white
not bigger than my
supremacy
family,
movement.
sir.
It's bigger than your Pan-European movement.
It's not bigger
I
than
will
my
say
family,
it here
sir.
with a full chest. Pan-Africanism is global, is bigger than the
I stand
white
on my family
supremacy
lineage,
here.
sir.
The Pan-Africanism is bigger than the Pan-European of the
But
little islands over there in Europe.
People like you are the reason why FBA was created in the first place, based off of what you're saying. Forcing everybody to be a Pan-Africanist.
No. I'm not, like I said, I told you
are
I'm not
trying to force
forcing
us
you
to be
how to
Pan-African.
be Pan-Africanism. No, I'm telling you that it's bigger than all of these little
Well, I
things you guys
support
are
your
chasing.
movement. I'm just not part of it.
It's bigger than MAGA. It's bigger than
Okay,
Pan-Europeanism. Am I lying?
I agree, but I don't
CJ,
support it.
is that a lie?
No, I didn't say you're lying.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. So please
I agree with it. I
stop trying
support
to
you, but I
gaslight
don't.
what
I'm
I'm
not a part of
saying.
Pan-Africanism.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We know where we stand. That's all I'm saying.
But the so-called FBAs don't want to be called Pan-Africanists. That's the problem. That's the reason why the FBA was created, because of people trying to force us to be somebody that we don't want to be, or a part of a lineage we do not want
Nobody forcing you to do what you want to do. Maybe they are trying to tell you about the past and what happened in the past about Pan-Africanism and how all Pan-Africanism came to be, because it seemed like it becomes a little bit weaker here in the United States based on all the laws that they have put in place and them eliminating most of these people from the Black Panther Party and the rest of them.
Yeah.
So maybe
If
they
Malcolm
were
X
trying to
lived,
just enlighten you guys.
if Malcolm X lived today and he said you're African, you're gonna be like, nah, bro, you're trying to be like one of those. That's why FBA was created, bro, to take people down like you, Malcolm X.
If Malcolm X,
You'd call him Malcolm Little. You wouldn't even respect his ex.
If Malcolm X was alive today, he would not be calling all of us Africans. I bet you.
Oh, you can't say it. Last time he was alive, So see that assumption, that assertion you
I
made?
think the more we
You're wild. You're
learn, the
wild for
more
that.
we grow.
Yo, take that back. Yo, take that back.
Just
Yo,
because he said that back again.
This is lack of
bro, he's not going to be an
education.
FBA. I'll tell you that. He's not going to be an FBA.
That's the lack
Doesn't
of
matter.
education
He's
right
dead.
there.
I'll tell you
This
that. It does
guy,
matter.
this
It
guy,
fucking matters.
this
You guys are
guy
ridiculous.
traveled to Africa.
No,
He was
because we don't
traveling
need
all over the
leaders.
world. Hello, he was traveling all over the world with the African leaders. They were holding meetings in Europe, in
But he's
London,
dead. It
having
doesn't
strong
matter.
conversations.
They love to.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
I
it
mean,
doesn't matter
OG.
because you have lost the
He's
the
dead.
history.
It doesn't
I'm
matter.
sorry.
okay,
Yeah,
well,
you
wait,
have lost the history,
Pat.
or you don't want to hear
All
the
of the
history.
people who were enslaved during the slave trade are dead also now. Do you just no longer care about what they did or what they said or what anything about
Africans
them?
are still
You
enslaving
know,
Africans today.
do you celebrate
I love
any
that talking
holiday?
point.
Do you
Jesus.
celebrate any kind of holiday like
No, I
Independence
don't.
Day? You don't celebrate any holiday.
No.
None.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
They're
giving
all
me
pagan.
some kind. She's
They're all
giving me
pagan.
FBA vibes, and
Pagan.
then
Sorry,
at the
guys.
same time
Independence Day
she
is a
wanna
pagan
say
holiday.
They're
that
pagan.
she's
All right,
with
I got
us.
another problem.
How is Independence Day a pagan holiday? It's Independence Day. It's not it's
Independence
not
for
even a
who?
religious
It wasn't
holiday.
independence for Black Americans.
Do you celebrate Juneteenth?
Okay. All right. We're gonna go to order. All right. You guys all have a question to answer. Okay. We're gonna go to order. CJ, you start, and then Fat, and then Midnight, and we're gonna go up. Okay. So, what is this picture? What does this picture allude to? What do you see it? What does it depict? Is it accurate? Is it false? In what ways is it accurate? And what ways is it false? Let's suppose that these are the people that came onto shores in America. You know,
I can't really make
those
out what the FBA is doing in this picture. Like, what is? I can't even make.
It's
all right, I'm sure somebody can
accurate
fill you
because
in.
the
I'm sure
FBA,
somebody can fill you in. Hold on.
yeah, it's accurate
Hold
because
on,
the
CJ.
FBA is the house. Is the house? I don't want to call the N word.
Well,
He's
you
the
do know
house
the
that they
house
send.
and the field work
He's the
together,
one that they
sir.
Y'all
send.
y'all
Matter of fact,
domesticated
You
matter of
do know
fact,
the house and
look,
the field
CJ.
work together.
matter of
CJ.
fact, he was
All
the
right, you
one that
start.
blew the
CJ.
whistle.
I'm
He was the one that started barking. Woo, woo,
CJ.
woo, woo,
It was
woo,
the
woo,
house and
woo.
the field that work together.
Fire. Hold on. CJ, go ahead and answer the question. Okay, I know it's random. I know it's out there, but just go ahead, address it. You get 2 minutes to address it, and then I'm gonna move on.
The problem with this picture is the whole problem with this whole thing is the term African American. That term alone doesn't even make any sense. So are you basically saying that African American is the slave, but what you're really showing is a depiction of a Black American? There's nothing African. This picture doesn't even make any sense. African American and FBA is basically the same thing. They're both Black Americans. You're just labeling them as two different people. I'm technically an African American under the government's title, but I'm also just a Black American. I don't go by African American, but I'm technically am an African American. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. You can look
I
at
see
me
what you
and
did
go,
there. I see what you did there.
yeah, you could, yeah. Most
Yeah, go ahead.
people will refer to me as African American, but I'm also just a Black American at the same time. It's the two terms are synonymous with each other.
All right.
So
Sounds
I
good.
don't
Sounds
really
good.
know I don't know
Sounds
what
good,
to
brother. That's why we say hurry up and delineate. Like you can't be all of them at the same time either. All right. So if you want to delineate, go ahead and stop calling yourself African American, so I could take on that accoutrements of Black American or African American, and it can actually belong to people that are prideful of being African and American at the same time.
That's fine.
Here, I'm going to move on to Fat.
And those people come from
Yeah.
Africa.
So we're gonna.
I don't come. Do I come from Africa? Do I come from Africa?
Sorry,
sir?
I got a call. We're gonna reclaim that term for us.
Okay, so do I come from Africa? Was I born in Africa? Was I born in Africa?
I don't know about you, bro.
So how?
Okay, let me just move on.
How am I an African American?
DJ, I wouldn't know, bro. I wouldn't know.
Okay, well, how am I? Tell me how I'm an African if I wasn't born.
I never said you were. brother. I am. Okay, I'm gonna go to Fat because I gave you 2 minutes. Sorry, guys, this shit's spicy. Fat, what do you think about the picture? What do you think about the picture? What are the questions asked?
I see a melanated man that has a title African American, but he couldn't be American because this is clearly pre-14th Amendment. So that would have to be after that period. And I don't even know what FBA is. Is that a gator? What is that? I can't see what that is. Is that a dog? Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, that doesn't make any sense because FBA you're saying is a dog chasing after an African American who couldn't even be American because it's pre 14th Amendment. So none of this makes any sense to me.
this picture makes no sense, literally.
All right,
Those
did
look
you
like
lamp that?
those look like slave catchers. So how can you be
Right,
an
right. There you
American
go.
if it's a slave catcher?
Oh, okay, all right. Well, that's an interesting point. Did you lamp that?
Yes.
All right, sister. All right. Midnight. What's your take on the picture or thoughts on what they talk about?
Yeah, FBAs are the new sellouts, new Uncle Toms, new house slave, house Negro. They're just a modernized version. It's always funny that these guys pop up when white conservatives have been pushing this crap, trying to get African Americans to delineate from Africans. If you look up a person named John McWhorter, he actually is a columnist. He's a linguist. He's a black person, but he doesn't want anything to do with the black community. He writes opinion pieces in the New York Times. He's done it for the Los Angeles Times. And he wrote a piece this year called Why I'm Black American, Not African American. And he is posted with the, I believe, Manhattan Institute, which is a white conservative think tank. So there actually is a movement going on within the Republican Party trying to get African Americans to delineate, but the only ones who are biting this bait are the usual 15% that votes for white conservatives. It's the same. We've been dealing with these people for generations, and they can claim anything they want, but at the end of the day, it's their actions that give them up every single time. They are the modern day Uncle Toms. Now land there.
All right, thank you for that, Midnight. Yeah, I agree. All right, go ahead, my brother.
I agree with the image. I think that FBA they are like the like a raccoon for this community, for the black community. Ever since slavery, they have always used prop up one black person or a group of black people to be like the snitch and the one who is loyal to the slave master, and tell on the other slave if the other slave have any kind of idea that is not along with the slave master. And you can see it in modern day, like it's like a character type in every kind of black community, even here in the Caribbean, like Uncle Ruckus from Boondocks. But FBA is like very particular, but they fall under the same kind of umbrella. So I agree with this image because this is kind of like how they are. It's like to sow dissent in black communities.
All right, thank you, brother. Go ahead, Unity. You're up.
Hey, so Vibes, I was looking at it. It took me a while to figure out that was a dog. but let me say, I think I agree with the picture, but I'm gonna give you a different take on it. I think the dog, he's a blind loyalist. He's subconsciously following what he's told to do. So I think a lot what's going on is with FBA or foundation or however you want to say it. This is my personal opinion, but I think it's a lot of subconscious following. It's like you don't mean to follow it. You're saying you're not, but all your actions show that you do. Because a lot of people are going to be like, I'm not aligning myself with Trump and the administration, but you're saying it with your mouth, but every action you're doing and everything you're saying is actually contradicting what you're claiming you're not. So, and I'm gonna land with this.
Say my last piece, please. I didn't actually get the actual facts, but I now got it.
Hold on,
Yeah.
Fire. I think he wanted to land his point, and you're next. Unity, did you have one more point?
One more point. Vibes. I literally just got in from Africa a few days ago, and I'm gonna tell y'all what's disheartening. I'm gonna tell you what's very disheartening about this whole situation we got going on over here. Every country I've went to over there, they always accept Black Americans as their own heroes. It's just so disheartening for whatever reason for us to delineate from that part of our history, whether you from there, you're not from there, they still are part of us, whether you like it or not, whether you want to claim it or not, that's still part of our family, part of the greater family. So let's stop this nonsense and accept all our heroes as our own and not make it a continental thing. It's a universal thing.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead now, Fire. Go ahead.
Yes, what I think is going on here, right? I feel like these folks have been socially engineering our folks for so many years to the point they want them to accustom to the hate of Africans, so that way, when it's time for them to go after their greater agenda of conquering the Africa, because right now what's going on in Africa is still neo-colonialism going on. That war never ended. So when they start bouncing on the Africans, pounding them like what they are doing to Gaza, our people already would have been socially conditioned to feel like, oh yeah, we hate them Africans, man. We don't like them Africans. Pound them. Because I've seen folks who are actually celebrating the pounding of another African country recently, to tell you the truth. So I would just leave it at that. But I feel like there is a social engineering going on for the greater good of them stealing the natural resources and taking over all what belongs to these Africans. Because if you look at the 1974, there's something called the Kissinger Report. Go and read that Kissinger report, please, guys. If you see what's there, you will understand the social engineering that they're trying to do. They're trying to depopulate the motherland. They're trying to grab as much natural resources as they can get. So that way, because they know if they do that up front, you guys or Black America is going to bounce on them. So first, kill the puppy that's going to make the noise or going to socially dysfunction their brain to be on your side. So when they start pounding the Africans, nobody will complain. Everybody will be on their side. But it's going to fail. They tried it before. They tried it in the 60s. It never happened. Still, the Africans end up having their independence. So like I said, I feel like that's their bigger goal here. And I'll land with that.
I think the whole point of this is the fact that Black Americans just want to be Black Americans. That's just the point. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know what I mean? To the point where they had to start calling themselves FBAs because people just would not let them be Black Americans. Not African Americans, not African ancestry, not African this, African that, transatlantic slave trade. Well, we got here from the boat. We were stolen from the shores, blah, blah, blah. We've been here for generations. Nobody in my family has mentioned being from Africa. My great-great-grandmother never mentioned anything about Africa. My third-generation grandfather was born in New York City. Walking around calling myself a continent that I've never even seen before in real life makes absolutely no sense to me. I'm a Black American. I literally have nothing to do with Africa. And like Fat said, if you want me to be from Africa so bad, tell me where in Africa I'm from. Until you can tell me exactly where in Africa.
All right, we'll get right to it. We'll get right to it. I know, bro.
Yeah, exactly. You make a joke.
You're beating a dead horse here. You're beating a dead horse.
You're making a joke.
No one's gonna.
For the longest time, you guys have told
No,
us that
bro. We already heard that. You don't change your position.
Let me say this.
Your position is you're not African. We get it.
We get it.
Yeah, it seemed like they don't feel the connection because they feel like they've been here for so many years. Okay, hello guys, all the Africans and the Caribbeans, please. I think we have to now welcome our brothers who doesn't still feel welcome. Maybe us welcoming them in a formal way, in a grand way, might be they might able to feel comfortable with their cousins.
No,
Because
we
at the
don't
end
want
of
that,
the day,
Walter.
We don't
this
want
They're
to.
like
tree,
the
this
OG.
tree
They're
is not gonna
OG.
go
They're like, it's not
anywhere.
xenophobia. It's not xenophobia. It's just our
Pan-Africanism, that's what I'm
lineage.
trying to
It's just our
say. Thank you.
lineage.
No. Well, good
It's not
luck.
xenophobia. It's just
Good luck
lineage.
with the African Americans because they are
I want to
black
stand on what my
Americans.
ancestors
Man,
have
you
built
talking over
and
me. Let me
fought
just land
and
here, please.
died and
There
bled for.
are African
I want to
Americans who
stand
are
for what my
here
ancestors
who
were
want.
lynched for and bled for. I want to stand on
Yeah,
that.
there are African Americans
All
who are
right, sister.
saying that too.
Stand on
There are
that.
African Americans
Stand on it.
who are saying that
Fire.
too, and then
Go ahead and
they're
land your
not trying to
point.
get us.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
and
brother.
there are African Americans who also want to understand what happened to their people back home. They want
They don't
that
even know who their
connection.
people
So
are.
it is disingenuous for you to speak
Speak
on
for
their
yourself.
behalf. Speak
Okay.
for yourself, man. Thank you.
You're Fulani, correct?
Girl, stop it. Just stop it. Stop with your interrogation tactics. Or you really want to learn, you know? But I feel like everybody has to do their own part. You know, you can't just come up here thinking that we're gonna give you your genome and like let you know. Like you guys are begging us for these answers that you don't even want to go find. So stop playing. Stop telling us, oh well tell us then.
No, you're
That's
saying
so
go by the
annoying.
DNA. The DNA
So anyways,
has been
we don't
done,
care. We don't
and
care if you
points
have
to certain
you guys always
places.
say we don't care. We don't care.
I don't,
Okay,
but I
so
did the
keep your
DNA.
no caring asses away from us, because
That's why we're
y'all.
standing
Okay, well,
with our
you still can't
ancestors because
find
we
which
know
one. It's
them.
fine. Look, I'm not gonna punch down on you for that. Listen, but just don't be begging us to pick a tribe for you. Go find whatever you
All
have
right, well,
in your own best interest, and go do whatever you need to do the
so
work.
stop crying.
But
So
instead, you
stop
guys
crying
want to
every time.
rely on
Stop
this
crying. Stop crying when you tell
anti-immigration.
you we are
No,
not
you guys are crying.
African.
Y'all like,
No,
oh, you
y'all are
guys want to
crying.
make us African
No,
so
you're
bad.
crying. No, you're
Y'all want to
crying.
make us
If
African
you
so
don't
bad.
want to,
Stop
please
it.
be African.
Stop it.
Midnight. Please be African.
Stop it.
Please come home.
You sound like a child, bro.
Please come
That's all.
home to the motherland.
Anyways, we know who we are. Sorry. Excuse us for knowing who the fuck we are. Okay? Stop.
And so do we.
Celebrate that.
And so do
Stop
we.
it, man.
And so do we. And so do we.
We are celebrating. We celebrate on this panel. You guys are mad because we're celebrating. You guys are a bunch of haters.
Listen,
You guys are.
Africans.
I'm happy you
Africans
know
come
who
to
you are and you
America.
embrace it.
And you guys can laugh. Y'all can. No, you're not happy because you guys be snitching. Y'all be talking about, oh, we support deportation. Yeah, if you're illegal.
I never said that.
You guys aren't us. Nothing like us. Nothing like us. We wouldn't do the same shit you guys be thinking about doing if you're not having done it already.
Why are y'all coming?
Bitch, we already here, bitch. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it, bitch? Nothing. You're not gonna deport us. We're American, bitch.
You want to be here?
Deal with it, bitch. You mad because you can't deport me? I was born here, bitch.
How am I mad?
Stop it, CJ. Don't even start with me. Do not go down that line.
Nobody wants to go to Africa.
Do not, because you think citizenship. It's called birthright citizen. All right. What are you gonna do about it?
Go to Africa, dude.
It pertains to the descendants of the
just you, nigga. Just you don't want to go.
No,
you can't speak for all Black Americans that love Africa. You can't speak for all African Americans.
Most
bitch.
Most Black Americans do not want to go to Africa.
No. Don't even go there.
I've never met
don't
one
have any
Black
stats
American.
talking about most.
I've never met one Black American.
Most nothing. Stop it.
Be there to
I've
celebrate.
never met a Black American that even talks about or thinks about Africa. Never, not one. Never.
You don't know Black Americans like I know Black Americans. No, you don't know. No, you're not a Black American.
They can denounce their
There'd be a nigga that'd be like, "You're not a nigga." No.
Ghanaian citizenship.
Your mentality is not with Black Americans. They're not thinking like you. All Black Americans are not ever going to think like you.
Yes,
you wish
you
wish you had all that. Gang, but you don't. You don't have that. Sorry.
This guy's stupid.
Yeah, it's not the overall population, right? Most of them are proud to be African, and you just not, and that's okay.
We are not African. We were born in America, you idiot.
Indian. This is what I'm talking about.
He hurt now. Go ahead,
No one
Midnight.
claimed to be indigenous.
Their rhetoric always gives them away. Like they want to claim this. It's a lineage. African American is already an ethnicity. Black American is African American and Black American are used interchangeably by this ethnic group. We are recognized by governments. We are recognized by academia. We are recognized by businesses, civic
Yes.
organizations. Like no one's heard of FBA. You guys came out of
It doesn't
nowhere.
matter what you heard of.
I know, but for somebody who doesn't claim to be FBA, you really seen your
Because
sensibilities
I'm neither
seem
one
to
way
be
or the
really-
other. I'm not conservative and I'm not Democrat.
I don't
I
believe
speak to my family. That's what I speak to.
Fat, can you let him just talk, please, without you responding to every point, please?
I mean, you always you're dodging everything. Like,
See, I speak to my family.
you do not speak. You don't.
All right, I'm gonna mute you up, girl. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
you give the most.
Midnight. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, don't take it personal, guys. We're talking to FBAs. Remember. Go ahead, Midnight.
Well, see, they are doing a lot more damage than just Africans, and so my perspective on this is going to be different. For me, it's like Unity. What he was saying when he first came up here, it feels like a CIA, FBI. For me, these guys aren't only attacking Africans. They're not only attacking Caribbeans. They're not only engaging in the erasure of the transatlantic slave trade or our link to Africa. They are attacking Native Americans. They are attacking indigenous Latinos. They are sowing division between Black men and Black women. Like they come in as passport bros or divestors. Like they literally are. It's all of this is happening at the same time. And they're no, that's not what I said. FBAs. Let me finish. Let me
Oh
finish
my
what I was
God.
saying.
Stop talking, Fat. Please, I asked you repeatedly to stop interrupting.
These guys wear different hats and go into different sections of TikTok and social media, and they just attack people. And they are doing nothing but sowing division between Black folks. That's all they do. If they were so concerned about illegal immigration, why not deal with Melania Trump? She came here on an Einstein visa. She came here illegally under false pretenses. They don't seem to be concerned with illegal immigration when it's for white folks. You know, Trump is a business criminal. Committed fraud, stole nuclear secrets. If they were so concerned about crime and doing everything the right way, I never hear these guys ever complain about Trump or the white conservatives or the crimes they engage in, blocking, trying to undermine African Americans to vote because they know we don't support their policies and their white supremacy. You know, you guys are so loud, but you're loud for the wrong things. And you keep claiming affinity for Black folks, but you don't have Black folk interests in mind. You have white folks' interests in mind. I'm gonna land there.
Hey, yo, Fat, once we leave this whole panel collapses, they need a Black American energy. And I'm gonna be off this, though. Peace out, all y'all. You heard?
Hey, bro. Hey, CJ, I didn't mean to call you the B word, man. I got passionate, okay? So sorry for that.
I hear exactly what you said, Midnight. But the thing of the matter is that I look at the whole spectrum. Trump is deporting Canadians. He's deporting British. He's supporting large swaths of white people. I've seen that. It's just not being reported. Just like, you know, all the theft that's going on with Somalians not being reported on mass media, but it's being shown on TikTok. So I think that both groups have kind of not told the truth or spoke truth to power. And if you want to pick up that political tone, then by all means be so. But I don't lean that way. I go on the truth based upon what affects me and what I think is a global thing for my people, my family, my lineage, and what's going to affect us. Because I don't agree with flat African American, because you have people like Mondami who went to school listing as an African American, but he's Arab, right? Or Pakistani or whatever. I just think it causes issues within that group. So I just believe in being Black American from the lineage and supporting my family and supporting this nation. And that's about it.
You said your family was global, so I don't understand how
I didn't say my
you're
family
not
was global.
African.
I said my
swear you said global.
DNA shows 60% African, but from 15 different countries,
Mm.
and the rest are from
Mm.
England and from early America, and a couple percentages
Either
of
way, you didn't have to
Native
say it.
American.
I'll say it. I'll say it. I'll say it. We are global, okay?
Okay.
So,
Hey, Fat,
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Can I offer Fat
Yeah, go
some
ahead.
information? Fat, may I offer you some information, ma'am?
Please.
Okay, I did Ancestry first,
Mm-hmm.
and this out of my intuition, something told me, it gave me all these percentages. My mom's white, so let me go and put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
But so it gave me European, it gave me about 5 different African countries. It gave me indigenous, my great grandmother's Cherokee. I'm saying all that to say this. I wasn't satisfied. So I kept doing research. So when I got to African Ancestry, I did it first. It told me where I was from. It gave me a tribe. But what I found out after I took this and I did some more digging is that African Ancestry was the first ones to have patents on these DNA samples. So
Mm-hmm.
legally, Ancestry.com can't tell you who you are. Legally, African Ancestry can, because they did the patents before 23andMe, before Ancestry. I think it was another one out there. But if you do a little research, African Ancestry started doing it before all of them. That's why
I did African
Ancestry.
Ancestry. I did My Heritage. I did 23andMe, and they're all breaks down to 60% African, and there are no living African
So you did
relatives
African
available.
Ancestry, and they didn't tell you a tribe.
I didn't get a tribe, no.
That's interesting.
I
I've
did My
never seen that.
Heritage.
I'm in
I
all the
did
groups.
23andMe.
I've never heard that one. Everybody I've ever done, because I'm in the community, I've never
Okay.
seen somebody say they didn't get a tribe.
I did
That's
the
a new one.
DNA, and I'm doing the genealogy. So when I come across an African ancestor listed on a birth certificate or a census or a death record or some type of land patent, then I'll be able to identify that African.
Okay. That's a first for me, and I've been in the group for
Maybe not
5
tribe.
years. That's a first for me.
Okay.
Oh, I wanted to ask her. You might not have a tribe, but you said a nation state, right? You can still trace whatever.
No. I have total African is 60%, and it breaks up into 15 different countries.
Yes. So give us those 15 countries, and then tell us the most prominent.
West African. It's not.
Then
East
tell us the most
African,
prominent.
It's not South
Hold on.
African. It's all of those areas.
Hold on. Slow down. So just give me the top 3 that you got, and then give me the highest percentage wise of what that region was.
No,
what are you talking? I'm asking you to read.
I'm telling you that because that makes no
You
sense.
see, you see, she got it in front of her. She just don't. She's embarrassed. She's embarrassed.
And if I was Fulani, but I'm
hear
not.
it.
Fat, the reason that's happening to you is because those results for Americans are fake. And I've realized that from my extensive research that they don't even really have panels in North America to start there. And then they measure as upper grins, like random groups. Like, bro, when I look at my matches on Ancestry.com, for how high they're trying to say that Africans should be, I don't have no matches in Africa at all.
Yeah.
And that's
All
fine,
my
but once
matches
you
are
take
in
a
the
test,
Americas, Hawaii, Australia.
so sister, you took so can you introduce yourself, please? Race, ethnicity, where you're from.
Truth, and I'm also I call myself Indigenous Black or West Indian, and my people are from the Bahamas and Florida.
Okay, sounds good, sister. I'm just saying you obviously took your test. It didn't say nothing about Africa. I'm saying she found the same test you found her lineages back in Africa. She doesn't want to name any of them because they have nothing to do with
Because it's
her.
fictitious.
But
Let
she's
me
gonna
show
tell.
you
Hold on, sister. Hold on, Truth. But she's gonna tell that brother right there that she didn't match up with any tribe. So the way we find your tribe, we can start with the countries within the continent of Africa. That's how we get a clue.
Sir. 15 countries.
Okay,
but this is the thing. When it's saying broadly this and broadly that, where is that going to lead you to? That's just made up
It's fine.
bullshit.
I'm trying to get specifics, but she won't tell us. She won't fucking tell us.
15 countries will not be specific to anything.
Fat, this is what they don't understand.
I said top 3. I said top 3.
Hold on, bro.
I said top 3.
When the Nigerians
give me the top 3, and I want the highest percentage.
So 10% makes me 10% Nigerian. Is that what that means?
Here she goes, ducking the fucking
Fred, check
question.
this
I'm done with
out.
you.
When the
Done with you.
Nigerians
Truth, go ahead
take
and
the
land your
test,
point.
it
Sister,
tells
land
them
your point.
exactly where in Nigeria, right?
Yes.
When the Ghanaians take the test, it tells them exactly where. When any continental African takes that freaking test, it tells them all the regions. When it comes to American black people, because it's like basically masking our heritage, right? My test said I'm 15% European.
Yes.
I do not have no mongrel type mama. I don't have no
Nope.
mongrel
You hear it back
type
there?
daddy.
Yes,
My
hallelujah.
grandparents
Yes,
ain't
European.
mongrel
Yes.
type.
Did you get
feel me?
early?
So
Did you
how
get
how
early
the
I love
fuck
how
can I
fat. I
have
love how fat praised the
15%?
European side. I love how she just praised. Go
No,
ahead.
because that doesn't mean that that's white tea, though. That's what you don't
But
understand.
the thing is, I'm not praising it. What I'm saying is, in
No.
order for me to have such a high percentage, somebody in my recent ancestry should have been fully white tea. There's
Correct.
no fully white tea
No, that's
people
not how
all
that
the way at
works.
least 5 generations or more back. So where is this white tea blood coming from in such a high number when all my ancestors are brown to dark?
That's
Yes,
not how
and
that
I've
works.
done my genealogy. I go back at least 10 to 15 generations here.
No, I don't believe that.
Well, you don't need to believe it. I have the records for
I
it.
know, but
All
I just
right,
I
all
have
right.
the
Midnight,
land
go ahead and
patents.
respond. I
records,
know that was a lot, Midnight. I know that was a lot, but go ahead.
records don't
I
even
have
go
at
back.
least 3 land patents in Florida alone.
That's
So
fine, but
Yeah,
the records only go back so
who
far.
asked you?
He's from Florida too.
Truth telling,
Man, y'all.
when you look
All
at
right,
your
y'all on your soapbox. Let my brother Midnight land his point. Come on.
when you look at your DNA matches, have you even tried to figure out how they're connected to you? Truth.
I actually have. Trust me, I've looked at all of it. I went on JEDCOM and 23andMe say one thing, Ancestry say one thing, JEDCOM showing 6 different indigenous tribes to the Americas. So it's something fishy going on there.
I had to see that
You feel
because
me?
it's not. Yeah, when I listen, I don't see the inconsistencies. I've done 23andMe. I'm on Ancestry DNA. I've done Jet Match.
African then, from the tribe of Nigeria.
Let him. Can you let him land? I want you guys always interrupt him. Just let
No,
him
I
land.
have 76% African. 20.
Where?
I
My
swear, I'll
top
drop you, fat.
my top
I'll
country is
drop
like
your ass.
Nigeria. It's over in 30%. And I haven't had. I just found my great grandmother, who I was told was part Cherokee. She was not part Cherokee. I tested myself and my mother, so her grandchild has 0 indigenous ancestry, and they do have reference panels in North America. You can literally go.
No, they
to,
do not. You're being
you
dishonest.
can literally go
Let
to
him
the.
land. Let him land.
You can literally go to the
Let
website.
him
You can literally
land.
go to the.
Hold on,
You
y'all
can.
jumping.
That's
Y'all jumping
African
shit.
man.
Y'all jump.
You
Okay,
can
let him
literally.
land. He's talking about his own shit. How are you guys gonna tell him about his own shit? Stop it.
And he's African.
Yeah,
Listen,
some of
let
them
him
are
land.
African,
Let
planet
him land
amongst
his
us.
point. Y'all want me to keep muting y'all? Just stop. Let him talk.
So you can literally go to Ancestry and they will break down the reference panels. They will tell you how many people is in the reference panel for every single region that they have. Okay, so this whole thing about they don't have reference panels in North America is false. Plenty of people who are indigenous here show up here in the Caribbean and Central South America and North America as indigenous people. That is false. I have found living Africans, people who
Do
were
you know your
whose
tribe, sir?
I don't know my tribe because it gets vague when you get closer to a tribe. The
Okay.
most confident thing you can do is at the continental level. No matter how many updates they do, trying to improve their accuracy, the continental percentages have never changed. And
I never denied I have African DNA.
yeah. So as far as not seeing a white person, I just found I discovered my great grandmother. I think she's probably a biracial child. And so that's 5 to 6 or 8 generations back before I found any white person. And I have 24% European ancestry, not only through all of my 4 grandparents, not just one, all of them. So when you say the numbers are so high, they ought to be close, that's not how that works. You're misinterpreting
Europeans weren't
numbers.
necessarily white.
Put me up on the big screen real quick.
I don't know what you call it. It's not so much white. I'll say European. They were European of descent. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I'm calling them white, but they are listed as European. So yes, I have European ancestry. If you're African American, the overwhelming majority of us have European ancestry. You can't be enslaved and then have power to deny grape. That's not how that works. I'll go ahead and land there.
So, Midnight, you see this right here? Now, if you go on 23andMe and you go to their reference data set, they say they source their information from 1000 Genomes Project. When you go to 1000 Genomes Project, there is no panels for any group in the Eastern Corridor, which is where predominantly slavery happened for Black people in America. You know where they do have a panel? In Oklahoma. You know where the Trail of Tears led with the Indian removal? To Oklahoma. When you go over to the Oklahoma panel, which is listed as African Southwest, all of those people, for the most part, I'm finding they don't have actual African ancestry. You know what they measure us to? Our two top regions, when you look in JEDCOM, it says African American or it says Afro-Caribbean Barbados. That's masking, bro. They don't have panels for the regions. You're being dishonest. And
Do you
then the
have
made up panels that, hold on, be quiet. The made up panels that they have for Africa, this is why we can't match to no one. All of my percentages are less than 1% match. That's not a match. And if I go through my genealogy and there's no whitey people, how am I having all these white ancestors that's less than 1%? They're not testing our whole genome. They're just taking a little piece and piecing it together to say that we're African. Also, I've compiled actual phenotypes together of all the indigenous Black people, bro. There's a reason why there's no panels over here. And guess what? Also, to add to that, in my country where I'm from, the Bahamas, just this year, the United States, the BIA, gave us back indigenous remains. How do you get the indigenous remains back? Under NAGPRA. That means you have to establish and prove that you have some relationship to that group of people, which is impossible to do if the actual natives out west who are on reservations can't do it. How can we do it? And then you also tried to gaslight us. Most Native Americans do not give their DNA for spiritual reasons, right? And the way how they're sourcing this is through half-bloods and outside populations, which means that if you're from the East Coast and your area was basically restricted because, you know, we went through enslavement and all of that stuff, we couldn't freely move around, we wouldn't have the same blood as the people on the West Coast who came now from Alaska and Canada, right? So why would they test us to look for blood from people that we're not related to? Of course, it's nothing going to come up. Now, what you should be asking the government and these agencies and biology and college departments that's holding the bones in storage, I found out that the Lucayan bones that were repatriated was held in storage from the 1950s. They have all of them from all the wars. They're in every Ivy League college and university. They're not sequencing them. So you should not gaslight the Black people who know better. That's wrong to do. The ones who's actually African are having African matches, but the ones who have different admixture is not coming up for us. It's saying broadly this, broadly that, broadly the next thing. And then they throw a splash of white in there. And then the shit don't even make no sense.
I bet you if I look at your DNA matches, I can make it make sense. And as far as
my matches are in the Americas. So what?
Your DNA matches on your DNA test. You know what I'm talking about. If you got white people, those people are not indigenous here. And ancestry.
I am not mixed with white.
You said in your. Did you not say?
I said on the DNA test, it's saying I have 15% European, but I don't have no European relatives.
Yeah. Do you have white people showing up in your DNA match list?
I don't. I told you, and every single person that shows up is less than 1%.
That doesn't mean anything.
I don't have no real matches, and it's actually really annoying.
That doesn't mean you keep saying the 1%. There are three.
Less than 1% when it has that little sideward B and a low 1%. Less than 1% means we're not related. So stop trying to push
No,
that.
that's not how that works.
I should have relatives that's at least match at least 1%.
You don't have
right
any,
or wrong.
Hold on. You don't have any. Your top match for Ancestry DNA and 23andMe is you don't have any close relatives. You don't have anything.
Only
like that?
one, and that's my uncle's son, and he have a different mama than me.
Are you saying you're not really related to him?
And I feel like we have different parentage. My father's heritage and his father's heritage is different. His mother's heritage is different too. That's why you don't do lineal descent, because it's inaccurate. You don't share the same parents.
What? So you said your father.
So my one cousin, I have 11% match to. Everybody else is less than 1%.
Okay. I don't look at the percentage. I look at the centimorgans. That's what I go by. So after him, what is the highest centimorgan count that you have?
How would I know that right now?
Your top, do you even use centimorgans when you try to do your research?
That makes
no
sense.
It don't.
Let me explain this to you.
Because he's trying to force the issue to make me related to 1% matches, which they're still in the Americas, and I still don't have no African matches, which is so beyond bizarre to me.
I have African matches. Good. I have Caribbean
because
matches.
You're probably African, and that's fine.
I'm African American, but see, you guys don't like anything that intrudes upon y'all's worldview that doesn't match.
That's not it at all.
Yes, it is, because you keep calling me. You keep calling me like I'm not African American. So you're basically trying to push
African. You're African American.
We didn't say you're not African American. We're saying you have African ancestry, heavily, apparently. Can I show this also? I want you to look at these people.
Go ahead.
He left the live, so I don't know how to go and expand. Where's moderator power? Okay, so if you look at these people here, right? And then you look at these people. These people are all from the Americas, right? These are not West African anything.
Are they part from South Carolina?
These are all either Southeast Corridor and West Indian.
Oh, they look familiar to my people.
And they all look alike. They're gaslighting us. And they're not putting our shit in the reference panels. That's why I'm starting to gather it up, because there's no way you can tell me all these people look alike and they so-called supposed to just be mulatto. That's a lie.
No,
they're forcing that lie to make us not love ourselves.
Yeah, I saw the mulatto lie in my census record.
You see?
And they changed it over.
Yeah,
and plenty of indigenous Black Americans are starting to see. They're like, wow, that looks like my people. Wow, that looks like my people. And even my relatives are looking like this and stuff.
Yeah.
This is not no coincidence. The West Africans among us do not look like us.
Yeah, I have family members that look like this. They don't have any kind of Native American ancestry. So
look at that. That's not a West African woman. And she's not a mulatto either.
No, she's not.
Anybody can look like this if you mix European and African together.
No, it doesn't. European and white does not look like that.
No, that's not European.
So Truth
That's
Teller,
not European and white and African and white.
Let me ask you this, Truth Teller. So if people are indigenous to America, and then you have people that are indigenous to Africa, so you're saying there's no way they can still be part of a larger family. Is that what you're saying? They're all separate.
What I'm saying is that they mix some of them amongst us, but it's disingenuous to gaslight the people and pretend like we just tripping. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I think y'all
these African Americans saying we had a grandma who's indigenous. Your grandma was just African.
Yeah, but the truth of the matter is we're still all part of a larger family, regardless if you was over on
But
this
that's
side or
not the
that
point. The
side.
point is that you guys are
That
pushing
is the point.
erasure.
Well,
That
didn't
is
the
the point
Bible
because
say
you
that there
can't
were
keep
three
separate.
races of people,
You
and why are you
can't
trying to
make
make
us
everybody
separate
Hold
one?
on,
and we're
hold on.
still
This is what
family.
European and African look
Yeah,
like.
exactly. That's European
That's
African.
one
I'm
We don't
European
look
and
like
African.
that.
that's
I have
one
a
person.
white mother. I know what European African is. I am that.
So why are you claiming that on indigenous people?
I'm not claiming. I
They
didn't
don't
claim
look
nothing on
nothing
indigenous
like this
people.
girl.
I didn't claim nothing on indigenous people. I'm
We know
saying
what the average
we're
mulatto
still
looks
part of a
like.
larger family. That's what I'm saying.
So you don't believe in
Regardless if you
Genesis
was
then?
indigenous over here or if you're
So you don't
indigenous
believe
over
in
there, we're
Genesis?
still part of a family.
You don't
We're
believe in
still
Genesis?
connected.
It
We're
doesn't
still
matter
connected.
about being connected. Our point is stop trying to
It do
erase
matter.
one part
You don't
It
believe in
does
to
matter,
only
Genesis?
accept
Truth
one other
That
part.
does matter.
There
That
are three
does matter
different
because you
groups
can
of
quit the
people, sir.
division. It does matter because we
There
don't
are
need to
three
be
different groups of
divided
people.
because of how we look. There are three
That's
groups of
not
people
even the
that's still
same
part of
thing.
a
See, when
larger
African
family.
mixed with white,
High
it
cheek,
doesn't look nothing like
high
indigenous.
That
cheekbones,
is
high
false.
cheekbones and big lips do not
So
It
make you
Kennedy,
don't.
you don't
separate.
believe in three different groups of people from Genesis?
No, we
So
believe in
there's no
color.
Ham, Shem, and Japheth.
No,
So that's wrong.
The truth
no.
is, if you're not white, you're family. That's the
Oh,
truth.
but white comes from black, though.
Of course it does.
So
But
why we're not the same
they're a
family
weaker
then?
part of us. They're the weaker side of us. That's all
They're
that means.
recessive. But there are
Exactly.
two different groups of black people.
But they don't carry the same spirituality that we do.
Okay, so now you're
But
separating
just
it
stop
from
trying to make
spirituality.
They are
everybody West African. That's all.
separate.
This
White
is
people
the
are
Indian
separate from
chief.
people of color. White people are separate. They're made. They're
What
not
about the
created.
Malaysians? What about the Filipinos?
See, they
What's-
pretend
They're
like our
family.
people
That's
just
our
wasn't
family.
here.
Okay.
Malaysians and
No,
Filipinos are our
I don't
family.
agree with
They're
that. You're
part of
trying
the
to erase
original
people's
family.
culture.
People have different cultures.
You're
That
trying to
still don't
erase
make us
people,
not
sir.
family. Culture does not mean you're not family. Different
Okay.
cultures
Just because
do
you're
not
three
make you
different
not
groups of people
family.
does not mean you're not family either.
White people is not part of our family.
But
Just because they come
your
from us, they're
direct
not our
ancestor
family.
is white, though.
Let me show y'all what they do.
Yeah,
You
my
see this
mama's
red
white.
line I drew here? Everything to the right of
My
that line
family's
is the
German.
East Coast. They do not have they don't have no panels. What they do is they use the Mexican blood, they use the Canada blood, and then the little mix up mongrel type groups on that side, which is the Indian removal. We didn't get out there until the 1830s. So if you're using them as a reference, how are we going to be related unless someone married in or just recently fucked them people? They know that them people is
It
not
goes
related
back
to our
further than
people. So this
it
is a
goes back way
gaslight.
further than a couple of 100 years. It goes
No,
way
no, no.
before
I
that.
know my history. The Indian Removal Act was in the 1800s. You see right here, it says the Louisiana Purchase didn't happen until 1803. After that happened is when we got pushed west, some of our people.
But
So therefore,
babe,
if you're doing a DNA test and you're using samples from South America, Canada, Alaska, Mexico, it's not going to match the Eastern Corridor because the Eastern Corridor people was enslaved, which
That's
means
true.
that they were not freely moving back and forth like today, how you can hop on a plane and go to California if you want to. No, you couldn't. So that means that for like 500 years or 300 years, however much you want to do the math, because the people on this side from the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, right? That's about 300 years of being isolated.
Yeah.
Then you get removed over to Oklahoma and mixed in with these other groups who basically was unaliving our people. That's why you keep hearing about missing Indian girls
you were not
and
isolated
women, right?
you weren't isolated if the slave master took you with him though. You weren't isolated.
What are
The
you
slave
talking
master
about?
told you where you were supposed to go. You weren't
As a
isolated.
whole, the
slave
people
master
on the
told you
Eastern
you-
Corridor were
the slave
isolated from
They
the
were
rest of these
isolated. They had
people.
plantations. They stayed in the same place.
That's what I'm
slave
saying.
master
Like
took
he's
you-
not being honest. Like we
That ain't-
wasn't in the
that got nothing to do
Louisiana
with being
area
honest.
until
These
the
are
Louisiana
facts.
Purchase happened.
They transported them
slave
from South
master took
Carolina
you
to
according to
Georgia.
your
It was
skill
all on
set.
the eastern,
The
all on the eastern
slave
coast.
master took you where
Wait a
you
minute,
wanted to
guys.
go according to your skill
No,
set.
it was all on the eastern coast.
Hold on, guys.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
Hold
it
on.
was.
It wasn't. It
Yes,
was
it
not.
They
was.
all
not
on the
being
East
honest,
Coast.
Fat.
That is not
I
dishonest.
found
The slave
records
This
of
is
where
why
my
so much of
ancestors
our
being
people still
transported
look
from
alike. They're not being
Virginia
honest.
to Georgia.
They're not being honest.
Guys,
Being
I'm
honest about
I'm
what?
gonna need
The
you guys.
slave
Because guess
master
what?
told
The
you where to
slave
go.
master wasn't
You
gonna
didn't
waste
have
his
a
money taking
you
you
couldn't
way
tell
out
your
to goddamn
you was not in
Texas.
control of where you want.
Texas
They
was
did
not
not do that.
American
They remained on
territory
the
yet. It
same
was under
plantation.
Spain still. Louisiana Purchase was under France, so they was not taking us over there like that.
Guys, please stop talking over each other. Let each other speak. You're just talking over each other. We're not having a dialogue. I know everybody wants to be heard, but just not stop talking over people. Unity, go ahead and start, and then Truth, you can start, and then Fat, you can follow Truth.
Okay, I'm gonna go since he's not saying nothing. I feel like people don't really know our history. There's 3 different languages in this country. The Eastern Corridor was English, the middle part was French, and the other part was Spanish. So if you did not know these languages and you was just a slave, they wasn't taking you over there. You didn't know what the hell to do. You didn't know what language to speak, nothing like that. So guess what? Until they purchased that territory, we was on the Eastern Corridor. That's why our people still look alike. Like we literally still look like each other to this day because we was only mixing amongst each other and with a few Africans here and there. And then, of course, the grapes of the white tea people for some families. But the ones who have a lot of heavy grape blood, white tea admixture change your phenotype immediately. And we see this with all of the half breeds that they put on TV to obscure our identity. Zendaya, that's one wash. Yeah. Cardi B, look at that. Lotto, all of them half breeds, one wash changed their whole phenotype. So if all of our people was mulattoes like that, we would look vastly different in one washing. That's just what it is. You feel me? We wasn't going over to the Spanish side of America until that shit got purchased and they got colonized.
Are you landing, Truth?
No, I agree with her. Unity can go ahead.
You have to unmute.
Sorry about that. All I'm saying is this. I'm not disagreeing. All I'm trying to tell you is this slave master had the power, whether you like it or not. You could come from the French, you can come from Spain, you can come from all the sides you want to. But if he wired your mouth shut to keep you from communicating with each other, it don't matter what language you spoke. What I'm trying to tell you is this slave master told you where to go at a certain amount of time. And the Indians came over here thousands and thousands and thousands of years before 1800. That's all I'm saying. This thing goes back thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. All I'm trying to tell you is we're still connected. Whether you want to keep it separate or not, you cannot do it, because if you are of color, you are family. That's all I'm saying. You could be of a different color. Hold, let me finish. Let me I'll let you talk. Let me finish what I'm saying. You can be of different language. You can be of different culture. It's nothing wrong with that, because that's depending on what side of the world you are on. But we're still from that same essence. That's all I'm trying to say. It don't matter what side of the world you came from. We are all still family. We might have had different cultures, different languages. That's totally understandable, because if you're in different parts of the world, that's common sense. But what I'm trying to tell you is this slave master and colonizer is the one that came and did all of this mess and got us all mixed up and got us all going at one another over silly, petty stuff, over higher cheekbones, over a different language, over because he looked like this. That doesn't matter. If you're still of the same essence, you can look and have any shade you want. It still comes down to the content of what your inner spiritual being is. If you believe
so
in
why
a
can't
higher
y'all
power,
just respect our difference then?
I never said I disrespected your difference. I'm trying to tell you we're all
No, because
together.
y'all really
I'm not
just want to
making a
force
difference for
West
nothing.
African and
If you
nothing
quit,
else.
if you let me
Truth.
finish,
Let him
let me
speak.
finish. I
Go
didn't
ahead,
cut
mute
you
him,
off.
please.
What I'm trying to tell you is no one is telling you anything. I'm going quite opposite. I'm trying to tell you that we're in this together. We're not separate. I'm not trying to tell you what to be. What I'm trying to tell you is we still come from that same essence, unless you are a white person. He was a grafted person. He's not part of the original family. And that's why he conquered the whole world.
He's still family.
Of course he's family. He's our evil twin. He's not good family. That's what I'm trying to say. He's not the good part of our family. You can't make him to what he's not. What you're trying to say is what the white people are. You can't make them to be righteous because that's not what they are. They cause bloodshed. Go look at all their history. Tell me when they've not caused bloodshed and war since they've been here. I can tell you this
Was on the
because
same team.
they're not on the same team. My great-grandfather was a
Africans
German.
and white
I come
people
from
was on the same team.
Exactly. The
No, they
Africans were the
wasn't.
original
No, they was
colonizers.
not. And after they tricked them,
When Ponce
they
came
did it
over
with a
here, he
system of
had an
tricks and
African leading
lies.
the ship to show him how to get
That's
here and do
right.
what he was doing.
And then
There's
when he
a
got
bunch
over
of
here,
stuff I've
they
read where
enslaved
when they
him.
couldn't go in themselves,
When they
they
got him
sent the
over here,
Africans to
I
fool
literally
us.
just read
The
that. When they
Africans
got him
drugged their
over here,
slaves.
they
They raided.
enslaved him too. They tricked him, and when he got over here and showed them everything, because we the ones showed them how to navigate. Once we showed them, they enslaved
Exactly, y'all was on
them
the same
too.
team showing
Exactly.
white
You
people how to
willingly
fuck
did
us
it.
over. That's
Wait a
why
minute.
y'all gaslight us still.
Why
Because
are
you
you
have
talking about
something
somebody
to gain from
gaslighting
it.
you? Why are you so hell bent on being divisive? No one is gaslighting nobody. No
Because you're
one
the
is
same
gaslighting you.
people. That's why.
They are not
Guys,
the same people.
we got a
They are
new
not the
person.
same people.
Wait a minute,
They're
Unagi.
not
We
the
have another
same people.
person. We have to let another person. He's been waiting. Black me. I'm going to mess your name up.
It's Black
Um,
Armenian. You good?
go ahead and tell me what your race and your ethnicity and where you're from.
Yeah, my race is black. My ethnicity, so I'm African American. I'm reconnecting Nabe person. My tribe is in Panama, so I'm Afro-Indigenous. And then what was the other one that you asked?
Just where you're from.
Oh, I'm from Vegas, from the West Coast.
What did you want to add? Did you want to speak about the prompt or something you heard amongst the panelists?
Yeah, I was trying to get an idea and all of that, but I'm kind of confused on the topic and all of that stuff.
Topic is about FBAs. The host has changed the panel a few times, but it's centered around FBAs and people who claim to be indigenous. This is the original prompt, or one of the original prompts. So if you can speak to that, you can if you want to.
Oh yes, I would say as an ex-FBA myself and all that, right? Is that how do I say it? Is that when you don't know history and things like that, you can easily be indoctrinated and all that. So as a person that used to binge watch Tariq Nasheed and all of that stuff, he's extremely pseudo and all that. I watched basically all the Hidden Colors and other movies that he has done and all that, and his talking points and all that, saying we was the Olmecs, saying there was black indigenous people already over here, things like that. But then when I went to go into research all these things and all that, nothing is coming back up that we was already over here and all that. The only thing that he really does, tell the truth to a degree, is a little bit about the Moors and the transatlantic slave trade, but even he's pseudo with that when he says, like, for example, in one of his clips that I watch and stuff, he says that the Gullah Maroons that were in South Carolina, Georgia, all them areas when they were running from the plantations and all that, and going down to Florida and stuff, and getting help from the Seminoles and all that. He said the Seminoles were some black indigenous people and all that. But when we go down that history, things like that, none of them leaders or anything like that are going to be able to qualify as a black indigenous person. They're all going to qualify as Native Americans and all of that, descendants of various tribes and all of that, and basically built off of Confederacy and all of that. So, yeah, pretty much just really pseudo-xenophobic and all that. And my biggest thing is that when I was FBA, and one of the reasons why I loved it and all that is I'm always have more smoke for the white team, man, and all that. I don't care if all of Nigeria hated black Americans and all of that and stuff. We're going to be on some deporting stuff and all that. Let's get them Ukrainians and the white people out first. Then, I'm saying other ones and all that. And that's the, type of time when I was FBA and all that. But then I seen is that some FBAs really just have smoke for black immigrants and all that. And then I want to get pushed back on the white ones and all that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not rocking with that and all that. You know what I'm saying? I might have some issues with black people and all that, but I know that man's my first enemy and all that. I'm going to have to go against him first. Then, unfortunately, then everybody else to a degree and all of that. So, yeah, that's just my my thought about it.
respond to that?
No.
How long were you FBA, Black Mania? Black Mania?
Yeah, so I'm 19 and all that. So like, it was like me fresh. I had to get out of high school and all that. I wanted to get into politics and all that, which I kind of regret. But yeah, I was just 18 when I first got into it and all of that. Right now.
You. Unity, did you want to say anything further, or Truth?
Nah, I'm not gonna say that. I'm so confused. It's just confusing to me that this divisiveness. I just don't understand it. It's all.
You know what the divisiveness is because there's a supremacy that y'all are actually trying to
Who is
continuously
y'all? What do you keep
enact.
talking about,
The
y'all?
African ones that's amongst
I'm
us,
not.
that's basically no. Hold on. You guys are literally eclipsing us in everything. I had to sit down after I did my research. I said, wow, white people don't even put our people on TV. When I look at the shows, you know who they put? The African descent ones on every fucking thing. So we don't even know what our people really look like. It's just not that we're sharing pictures of our relatives while y'all sitting up here laughing at us, talking about, oh, my grandmother was indigenous. Oh, they only got 1%. But all of us have grandmothers that look alike. All of us have family members that share the same phenotype. Come on, be realistic
They
now.
happen like Nigerians
We
play
share
our
cultural
play
heritage.
our
We share
hero.
cultural
What are you
custom,
talking
religious
about?
practices,
You are
and
making
y'all trying to
absolutely
literally
no
play in our
sense.
face, and it's
They're
sickening.
trying
And
to
you know what
erase
I read
that.
You're
about the
making no
Buffalo
sense.
One
Soldiers, how
person
they
at a
signed
time,
up?
please.
No, I want to finish. The Buffalo Soldiers, when I read about what they did to the indigenous black people, I didn't like that. They was helping the white team man control us, gaslight us, take our land, all of that stuff. It's not right. You saying that we're family, then why all this stuff? Why was we keep being sold out? Whenever we took black people in Florida, we was taking the escaped African slaves in, and then how we keep getting sold out?
Can I ask a question?
How we keep getting played?
Go ahead, Black.
Yeah, so you brought up the Buffalo Soldiers, right? So what tribes were black indigenous that they went against?
They went against most of the indigenous people, especially after the Indian Removal Act.
What
So I
tribe?
don't have a whole list, but I know the time frame when it was happening.
So I do know the list, right? So they went, unfortunately, it was against the Comanche and some other tribes that were in the West Coast and all that. None of them were black. They were all Native Americans that they went against
Okay.
and stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? We good on that history. And then you brought up the Florida stuff and all that. So we can also go down the Seminoles history and all that. Who of them were black indigenous? Because they had leaders and all of that. So which one of them documented was black indigenous?
So you don't believe in any
The
black
leader
indigenous
up
tribes?
right
That's
here
fine.
on the page.
Okay, can someone put them on the big screen, please? And what's their name?
His name is Jack Tigertail, and his death certificate is right there in Miami, Florida, in the Bureau of Vital Statistics.
Can you put his name in the chat?
It's right there, Jack Tigertail.
Oh, it's
Tigertail
okay.
family.
Okay, give me 1 second.
And guess what? A lot of them people, the lighter skinned ones that you give credit to, they were very mixed. I just posted about Osceola, who was walking around pretending to be full blood. That motherfucker was 1/8 indigenous.
They did that a lot.
Can you move?
They did that very often, and this is why we're getting gaslit. Because when the white team man would grape the women because they found them attractive, believe it or not.
Okay.
And when we make our mixed children, right? I don't have mixed children, mine's are black. But whenever there's a mixed child made with indigenous, it come out different than a mulatto. Believe it or
They
not.
did the
That's why
same
they
thing.
have
They
terms
called it blanco
like
mestizo,
mulatto and
which is white out
mestizo
the
are
race.
two different terms because they recognize that we're two different types of black. You feel me?
Look,
Now we
so
have this whole mongrel cast. This is why they even on TV shows now, you don't even see they put y'all no more. They don't put the Africans no more. They put in the half breeds. And
Yeah.
soon, guess what? All them calling themselves on Sinners, that lady they had in the house, that white ass woman talking about her grandfather was black.
Exactly.
So, are you of African descent, Taino?
I have both ancestries.
Okay, so you're African indigenous.
Afro-Indigenous.
Okay. Are you connected to your? Do they have Ucayekes in the Bahamas?
Did she mention the Bahamas?
It's in her bio, and I know who this
Yes,
is.
in the Bahamas, basically, we just live our life. Like, it's not like how, I have to say, it's kind of sad. Like, we live in our life. There's people put amongst us also. So, like, when I was first telling people over here our heritage, they're like saying like, oh, that's not true, or you're lying, da 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 da. And I went down this whole rabbit hole. We still building structures that looks like the same structures in Florida culturally. We're still practicing the rhythms and the beats. They're giving Puerto Rico our identity with our bones. I'm hearing them saying bomba this, bomba that. Oh, bomba's African.
They don't even
That's our
teach
Junkanoo
Indians in
beat.
Florida anymore. They never taught about the Seminole Wars.
That's what I'm saying. But guess what? We have a direct relation. How about when I went to find out Osceola mixed ass, right? His mother, Polly, part Taino, but they wrote the Tainos out of history in the 1500s. How is that possible? They don't even clean up the lies good.
No, they're trying to write us out of history, actually.
Write us out of history, said we extinct. Then they had Indian schools in the Bahamas all the way up to the 1900s, the Bray schools right in England begging for money to train the Indians that they wasn't indigenous, that they was black Africans. It's all kind of shit. Like, it's this shit ridiculous.
The
But all my research
HBCUs,
have
they're
led
trying
me.
to take over command of those as well.
Can I
And you know what
ask
they doing now? Guess what? Trump was trying to send a whole bunch more Haitians to Bahamas, and Bahamas government say hell no. And it's no shade to the Haitians, but they sending those Haitians there to try and eclipse us and say, oh, we just basically, like, people used to walk up to me and say, oh, you speak Creole? You're from Bahamas, right? Don't y'all speak Creole? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, the Bahamian president's kicking them out.
So, real quick, you said about Aussie. I don't know how to pronounce his name. What'd you say about him again? About him being
Osceola.
mixed? Yeah, Osceola. Yeah. What'd you say about him being mixed?
Osceola is 1/8 indigenous.
So, can you show me a record where he says that?
All right.
Okay.
Anything I say, I got sources for, boy. Okay. Hold on, I just posted
You
this
want to
the
make sure
other
he
day.
cancels out the indigenous for you.
People hold him up to
You had
such
me
a high
totally
esteem. And that was
confused.
the most
I am
majority white team
confused.
man.
No, Africans like to deny any black indigenous people, so they go through great strengths to do so.
Well, you can't deny. I mean, they could.
This
Facts
don't
are
make
facts,
any
right?
sense.
There's no such thing
Y'all
as
love to do that.
both sides
as a
at the
Black
same
Y'all
American.
love to do
I'm
that so
so
we can all be
confused.
flat black.
As a Black
then erase
American
the Black
myself,
Americans and what we've
there's no
done.
such thing as a Black indigenous.
Of course, you think so.
No, it's not a
And
thing.
you,
So
and
I
you
could
take
qualify
great
it.
strains to do so.
I can
To me,
qualify
it doesn't matter.
So let's qualify the
But,
information.
know,
Let's qualify the
No,
information.
you know why
then.
he's saying that? Because he expects them to be West African. We're not
Exactly.
calling a black indigenous West African.
He wants everybody to be West African.
I
And
don't
if
want
West Africans
so
if we're
hate each
not
other.
if we're not that, it shouldn't offend you, right?
West,
Someone could
West
say I'm
Africans hate
That's
each
what I'm
other.
saying. Well, who's
if
trying to make
someone's
somebody be something? That's what
if
got me
someone like
confused.
listen,
Yes,
if
they
I
are.
if
Trying to
someone
make everybody West
if someone
African.
tells me I'm
Who is
Haitian,
who's
please.
trying to make everybody West African?
If someone tells me
The
I'm
motherfuckers who saying there's no black indigenous people
yeah,
on
there
this
is none.
land.
There
I'm
is
gonna tell
none.
you, man.
So let's qualify the
This
information.
enemy has
Easy as
got
that.
us totally confused.
And
I'm gonna
that's
be
why I
honest.
would never
We are going
claim
back
to
and
be
forth
of
over something that don't even make any sense.
No,
It's
because
just
these people try to race people. And that's sad.
who is these people though? That's what I'm confused about.
Can't
Who
erase
are they?
nobody.
Who
bro.
is
You
That's
try
not
to
funny.
erase
Who
people.
is
They
these
erased the
people?
Tanu, they erased the Arawak. Now they're gonna erase the Olmec, they're
Who
gonna
is
erase
them?
they're
Who
gonna erase the
erased?
Mayans, they're gonna erase the Aztecs, they're gonna erase everybody, and everyone's gonna be
Who?
African.
Who's gonna race it?
This is one of the sources here when I was
The white
first
man
doing it.
only
When I
got the
went
power
back
to do
further,
that.
because
No,
just
black
off of
people,
this, he would be
black
Black people
Africans
can't erase
75%,
nothing. Ain't got
right?
the power to do that.
75%
No, it's not white
white
tea.
tea.
It's the West
Right?
Africans
And
doing
I
Oh,
it.
this
went
is
back to
this
I
is
went back
AI.
down the mother's line even further. This one
The
said a
CIA
mother was
winning.
mixed race Creek in English, right? But her mother was already mixed. So that means that she was not half. She was a quarter.
So
And
can you
his
show
father
can you
was
show with a
white.
credible
So we
source?
know how to do the math.
So
A
show with
quarter
a credible
plus
source,
fully
not
white
AI.
is 1/8.
So let's go
Now
to
let
a
me
credible
bring
source.
it up. Hold on.
Of course,
Let's
he's
go
not
to a
going to
credible
accept any of
source.
your sources because he's African and he wants
Of course
everybody to be
he's
African.
not, and he could go
I'm not
look it
African,
up
man.
his
Yes, you
I'm
are.
Black
goddamn
You're
self.
American.
African. And You
I'm
want
Black
everybody to be
American,
African.
ma'am. I'm Black American. But
No,
okay.
you're
Please
African,
stop
sir.
speaking
You want
over each
everyone to
other.
be African.
I'm Black American,
No,
ma'am.
you're
Okay.
African.
All right, that makes you feel better.
It makes me feel great.
No,
Here
where's the
go
credible source at? This is AI.
Osceola,
This is
right? This
AI.
is well-known information. This isn't
This is
anything
AI.
that's
Okay.
hidden. They have
So
this
since
out
you
in the
don't want to do
open.
that, can I be put on the big screen, please?
Polly Coppinger, right? She was already mixed. Her mom was already mixed. And
Can I
the
get put on the big
fathers
screen?
was white men. And this been going on from the 1500s. So please.
Can I get put on the big screen? Okay, thank you. So we are right here because I asked for a credible source. And that I only do credible sources is NPS.gov. During the 1830s, Osceola Seminole warrior led, actually, I don't have to read
Was
all.
not full-blooded, so I don't know. You can use your little bony ass finger all you want to.
One second. I didn't say he was full-blooded. I never said that. I asked you about his genetics because of what you said. I never made any claims about his genetics. Okay, Osceola's early life is largely unknown. Historians believe he was born in Alabama in 1804 to a Creek mother and a Scottish father. As a child,
The mother was mixed. You need to go back further. You're not doing your proper research.
Show it, because it says this, and this is a credible source.
And he finished.
Show a credible source where it says that his mother was also mixed. That's all I'm asking. Just show that. You're pulling up an AI. This is a .gov that I'm showing. A Creek mother and a Scottish father.
Really, pull up Polly and pull up Ann.
Pull up a
Pull them
credible
up.
source to
If
back
you're
it
really
up.
gonna fact check me, pull up the mother and the grandmother.
Pull up a credible source to back it up. You put up an AI.
Pull up the mother. No, you're not.
Pull up a
Because
credible
if you
source.
was really pulling up credible source, you would pull up the mama and pull up the grandmama. You shouldn't have to hide nothing.
This a .gov.
It doesn't matter if it's a .gov. It doesn't matter. Pull up their genealogy. Fat, you see what he's doing with his little bony ass skeleton fingers?
Okay, that's fine, and you are
You see what
pretending.
he's doing?
And you are pretending. That's fine.
I'm
and you are
not. I'm
pretending.
actually telling
You are
the truth.
pretending. So show me on a source where he said that his mother was mixed.
Okay, so pull
Show
up.
me the source.
The mother's name is
Show
right
us,
here.
show
Pull
us.
up Polly's
Show us.
genealogy now. Go
That's what I
find you a
thought.
.gov that has Polly's
That's what I
information.
thought. That's what I thought.
Ain't no, that's what you thought. That's what I'm telling you. They lying.
Show it.
Because
Show that
there's too
they're lying.
many sources, bro. These sources I found, even I have posted further down my page from universities.
So show it. Show
trying
a
to
credible
race
source that
That's
his mother was mixed.
corroborating this shit.
Show
No,
a credible
look, the
source.
mom's name is right here. All of you guys, Google
Show a
this.
credible
Polly
source.
Coppinger.
Show a credible
Pull
source.
up Ann McQueen.
Show a credible
That's
source.
his mother and grandmother.
Look at him.
And they
He's
go
laughing
through the
'cause he's
maternal line.
crazy.
So pull them
He's
up and see what they
deranged.
mix with.
Guys, go ahead and mute Truth. Please pull up a source that is not Google AI. This is, we're looking at a Google.
Listen, it doesn't matter because I fact checked this shit on the genealogy report. I got that shit too.
That's not how that works, Truth. You got to pull up
All
an
things he
actual
showed was
source.
Creek.
No, I didn't. I showed where it was a Creek mother
Bro,
and Scottish
he's
father.
really being dishonest because the mama was mixed.
Okay, so show it. If I'm being dishonest, show it on a credible source.
This is their genealogy, right? So Pollyann was mixed.
So show
You
a
understand
credible
me?
source. Show
Pollyann was
a
not no full indigenous,
show
and
a
the husband
.gov or
was
.org.
white.
Show a credible source.
No,
Ain't
you
just
want to
not
say a
credible.
.org. If
Anybody
it's
can
from a
make a tree.
genealogy site, it is
Anybody can make a
legitimate.
tree. Anybody can
You
make a
gave
tree.
a vague source. All it said was Creek and Irish. That can mean
Bro,
anything.
he don't got no good source.
said
Because guess
Creek
what?
and
If he cares
Scottish.
so much about a
That's not a vague
.gov, why
source.
why
Scottish
can't he
can mean
type in
anything. They were
Polly's?
black Scottish
Hold
and
on,
they were
hold on.
black Creek.
Why couldn't he type in Polly's
There was
name
no
and
such
pull
thing.
that up on a .gov?
Wait a minute,
Show
guys.
it.
Hold
That's
on.
you
He
said
don't
that
want to
she
be
was
wrong.
mixed.
He's
You
scared that
said
it's gonna
no.
say what I'm
You
saying.
said that. You said that
I think he
qualification,
was
so
kicked
you
out
have
of
to show it.
FBA.
You were pseudo.
Everybody,
You're
please
Girl,
mute.
fat. This is the thing. He an
Everybody,
outsider, bro. Because guess
Ostracized.
what? If he really had the facts, he would
you were
prove it.
pretending, and you were pretending.
Pull up Polly's name
Let's
then.
pull some
A
Africa.
Creek
You
mother,
know so
a
much.
Creek
Pull
mother
up
and
her
Scottish father.
name.
A Creek mother and Scottish father.
You're
A
not
Creek
using
mother
a
and
good
Scottish father.
source. I
Y'all
said
bunch
pull
of
up his mother's name. You just putting his she is a Creek mother and is widely unknown. That's not no good source.
I'm not going to ask you guys continually to mute. So if you can't mute, I'll drop you. I'll welcome you back up, but you need to mute. Can't hear everybody talking at the same time. You can share your sources and show us. I'll put you on the big screen. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with you making claims, but people do want to see sources. If you want to come back up, please request up.
At midnight, while Truth Teller is coming back up, or if she want to come back up, I'm telling you, man, listening to all of this lets me know the only person winning is white supremacy. We are going back and forth over nonsense. We are family, y'all. This don't even make any sense to me. I'm so confused. And telling somebody they're trying to make somebody something. I've never tried to make anybody anything. This is what's so crazy to me. I'm just so confused at why we're going back and forth with one another. It just totally baffles me.
Because he's trying to erase people. That's why. When you try to erase people, it makes people upset.
You can call me a Haitian 24/7. Still not gonna make me Haitian. I'm not racing anybody.
You're Haitian.
I just don't know what they kept talking about, and I was able to qualify my information.
Unity, we all have free will and agency, and it's an unreasonable expectation that we are going to agree on everything.
Right.
It is what it is, but at least we can share our sources so we can see how you came to your position. That is the value of sharing the source. I know people like to use Google AI. It is not a legitimate source. And I do genealogy. Anybody can create a genealogy. I've encountered Frankenstein genealogies that were messed up. So that's not a credible source.
But see,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Midnight. Let me just say this. And I feel like everything's calmed down a little bit. But what trips me out is people still, when you come with a credible source, let me tell you, let me use me as an example. I went down rabbit holes. And when I got to African ancestry, which Fat said that it didn't show her tribe, which is, I've been following this for 5 years. I've never seen that. I'm not saying you're right or wrong, Fat. What I'm trying to say is when I got my report, they sent me my breakdown of my genealogy, well, not genealogy, I'm sorry, but it sent me my readout of how they came up with my tribe. But when I say that, people have the nerve to say, well, that ain't true. So my point is, what becomes credible, Midnight? What becomes credible? But I'm going to tell you what comes credible to me. What becomes credible to me is my truth. I have no problem standing on my truth. But one thing I'm not going to do is try to make somebody that they're not, or try to make somebody what I am. That's what I've been totally confused about tonight. I just feel like people are trying to go somewhere that it didn't even have to go. I hadn't heard nobody trying to make somebody something. And I'm gonna land with this, Midnight. What I'm starting to realize, because I like to listen more than I like to talk in these rooms, and more what I'm realizing is we like to pump our chest when we get some knowledge, which is a beautiful thing to learn. But let's stay humble while we learn, because what you're learning is a lot more to learn. We're gonna keep learning. Just cause we found certain things and we uncovered stuff about ourselves, the boat don't stop there. It actually keeps rowing. It's more to uncover. Don't stop where you think you need to stop. It doesn't stop. We're going to go most of our lives on this journey. So keep an open mind and stay humble when you learn stuff. Be thankful that you are able to learn what we're learning, and let's keep stacking on top of what we're learning. That's what I'm learning, Midnight. I don't know everything, and I don't claim to know everything, but what I want to do is keep learning.
Truth, did you want to add anything?
This is all I'm going to say. I dropped the names. This isn't about like a pissing match. The truth is, when you have so much rebuttal to give and calling people out of their name when they have actual heritage, if you want a .gov, you have a computer right there. Polly Pollinger, right? Coppinger, you can look her name up on a .gov, right? And there's many schools edus that have her information as a mixed-blooded Creek. You can go further and look at her mom's information. You can look at who her mom was married to, and then you put your math together and figure it out. I'm a paralegal, so reducing me down to, oh, you're just using Google AI, because I know it's a lot of simple-minded people who can't read complex information. So the summarized version, yes, I fact check it before I post it. Obviously, Polly is a real person. Anne McQueen is a real person, right? Billy Powell was perpetrating. He got adopted into the Seminoles as a full-blooded person. He would start walking around and claiming that shit. At first, he wasn't even considered a Seminole. His family grew up outside of the state of Florida. They moved to Florida after his father passed away. I read the whole story numerous times. He grew up as a white child and enjoyed the life of white children. That's what it says on multiple sources, because he looked white, because he was predominantly white. And this happens in our community to this day. All the little half-breed children, when they get that double mix and they look fully white, they live as if they're white. And then they come around us and say, oh, look at me. My grandfather was black. Oh, I'm part black. I'm this. I got a black great-great-grandpa. Ronda Rousey done did this shit. The girl from Sinners, Zendaya, all of them do it. So what's it so far-fetched that this man also did, and is openly known in academia, that his family was very mulatto? Well, it's well known that there's plenty of depiction. If you actually get into learning Florida history, the Tiger Tails, all of them motherfuckers was black, but they wasn't West African black, and they weren't listed as West African. I have Senate documents on my page saying that the Seminoles were dark as most Negroes. Since you need real sources, submitted into the Senate in 1931. I have thousands of files on my phone. It's not for me to go through all of them when they're already posted on my page. But I'll tell you this, the government knows this. They had a literal sign. You see in Tiger Tail, that was a sign to welcome you to Hialeah, and they took it down because people didn't want to see a Negro when they went to go down to Miami, because Miami started getting popular. They literally bust in and flew in Cubans, white tea Cubans for free. So all this fake ass immigration problem they have, back in the day, they ain't had no problem when they brought all them Cubans to Miami to displace the original people who was down there. All the signatures to sign for Miami to become a city, half of them was Bahamian signatures. When you go look up who helped found Key West, that was our people again. Who helped fight in the Seminole Wars, that the Seminoles even have it on their own website, saying that the Bahamians and Cubans supplied arms, and they had to have the naval forces in the water keeping us away. I know a lot about my history, bro. And even I've went further and been able to make the Seminole Taino connection. That's why, like, when I was looking up Osceola and I seen that his mother has mixed ancestry with the Taino people, I said, they said we was gone from the 1500s. Why they had Indian training schools? How is his mother part Taino if they was already gone for almost 500 years prior? You feel me? Because they don't clean up everything. Everybody don't watch each other hand. The British saying one thing, the Spaniards saying one thing, the French people saying another thing. And that's why I even go internationally. You think I would have known about the Bray schools if I didn't go to the U.S. British archives? And I bet you don't even know about it. I know about it because it happened in my country. That's all, it's no shade. These people look like us. Even the ones who's on the reservation claiming, when they holding up the picture of the dark-skinned ones that before they was mixed, when I look at them, I say, well, I'll be damned. That looks like my dad's mom. That looks like our people. They still practicing similar shit. The Chickie house, the Seminole structure called the Chickie, that's still built in the Bahamas to this day. I mean, this is whatever, though.
Yeah,
Y'all want to make everything West African, and people speaking up and saying it's not West African. Believe us.
Go ahead and let Fat speak.
No, I'm done because I agree with what Trutha said. I live in Florida, and it's a lot of history they don't teach They don't teach about the Timucuan. They don't teach about the Seminoles. They don't teach about the founding of the rural parts of North Florida. They just tell you nothing, basically, just about the American Revolution. And it's because they don't want the history to be revealed. But once you start digging into those records and you find heirs property, you find all these different artifacts, and you see there's something more deeper than what you've been told. And you have those who are out just to erase people's history. And that's a shame, because our people were here and they did great things, and they're still doing great things. And that's a whole part of delineating, for you want to erase us. And that's it. So you can go ahead and continue, Black man, being Haitian and African and erasing people, indigenous history.
And what I don't understand is, who is erasing somebody's history just because you're claiming something? If you researched on I'll speak for myself. Just because I've researched things and found African in my, let me take the stand for a minute. I did genealogy on my mother's side. My mother is Caucasian, which goes back to Germany. We found all this out. My great-great-great-grandfather fought for the Confederates. My great-great-great-grandfather on my father's side fought for the Union. My great-great-grandmother is a full-blooded Cherokee. So all of that trying to make somebody something makes no sense to me. Y'all talking, you're painting too much. You're taking your paintbrush and you're painting it too broad. You can't box everybody in these corners that you're trying to box them into. What we're trying to do, let me speak for myself. What I'm trying to do is understand where all this trauma comes from. And I'm telling you, with every white cell that lives in my body, coming up with a white mother, with a racist grandfather, what I'm trying to tell y'all is, that is the common denominator of this division. You could put this white man in the family all you want to. He don't want you in his family. And the truth of the matter is, he is not our family. He's not a righteous soul, is what I'm trying to tell you. And I can speak on it because white resides in me. Period, point blank. Indigenous resides in me. Period, point blank. African resides in me. Period, point blank. So all of this, you're over here and I'm over there, makes no sense to me. What it does make sense to me is, you done had an FBI agent or a CIA operative come in these rooms and divide us over information that we need to keep researching. It don't end where you think it ends. It keeps going and going and going. So let's stop all of this boxing everybody in these corners. Let's just stop it. It's foolishness and it's traumatizing. We've been traumatized enough. Let's start healing with the information that we're getting, not alienating one another.
Speak now? Okay. So, and the only reason why I got disrespectful is because I got disrespected first. So again, you know what? I will grant that. Dude's mother was mixed, right? Still is never going to negate the fact that the Seminoles, right? I don't care how dark skinned they were. Now, see, now I'll let you talk. I don't care how dark skinned they was or not. When we correlate being dark skinned to being black, we're erasing people that are light skinned, brown skinned, albinos, and all that, because I'm a brown skinned man, but I'm still black. I'm not dark. And all that. So again, we can qualify the Seminoles history and all that. I don't come on these panels and all that to tell people who they are and all that and things like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. You could tell me the example I was using, right? Because I'm African American, Panamanian, Bajan, and Puerto Rican descent, right? You could tell me about every single day. I'm Haitian. My genetics are not going to change. I don't have no connection to Haiti or anything like that. Maybe a cousin or two. Maybe that. But as far as my direct lineage and all of that, I have no connection. and all that. So someone could tell me I'm Haitian 24/7 is not going to change it. And then also too, y'all brought up earlier about the DNA and all that. The reason why there's not a lot of DNA for certain communities and all that because you're not in proximity to them. So, for example, someone was saying was that they have Seminole ancestry and all that, right? But then it's your great 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 grandmother that's a Seminole and all that. Yeah, it's probably gonna come up 1 or 2% because you're not in proximity to that community and all that. My DNA percentage for my indigeneity and all that ain't that high. But I could go down my DNA list to my cousins and all of that are highly indigenous. Most of them are mixed with white and native and all that, but I have some cousins that are just straight up mostly indigenous to Panama and all that. So I can easily qualify this information and all that. So again, there 100% is a Seminole panel. And I have a friend on here. She is Afro-Indigenous and she is Seminole, indigenous Seminole. She has that ancestry and she's also Gullah. Her Gullah ancestry too, and all that. And when she took a DNA test and all, and I could pull it up too. When she took a DNA test and all that, it qualified that she was. Can I
That's
speak?
showing us the Seminole
Can I
panel
speak?
right
Can I
now.
speak?
You're
Can I speak?
lying.
I let you talk. Can I speak? So again, we can easily qualify this information. She is legitimately mixed. She's Seminole on a couple other tribes, right? And then she's also black, right? Phenotypically, when you look at her, you could tell that she's of African descent, but she does have mixed ancestry and all that. And when she took a DNA test, it showed up that her African was the highest. And then how typically for African Americans, it is about 20% European. Well, her indigenous was about 20% European, 20% indigenous, and then just more African and all that. So again, that's because she was in proximity to tribes and all that because she's I think she still lives in Oklahoma and all that. So her family went through the Chilla
Do
Tears.
I know you're
So can I
lying? Because
finish?
the
Can I
Seminoles
finish?
from
Can I
Florida,
finish?
there's no
Can I
Florida
finish?
Seminole
Can I
panels.
finish?
You're
Can I
a
finish?
lying ass
Can I
nigga.
finish? Can I finish?
I'm
Hey, don't
done.
say the
I'm
N-word to
done.
me,
I'm gonna
pretendian.
drop.
Don't say the
You're
N-word to me,
lying to
pretendian.
me.
Don't say the N-word to me,
You're
pretendian. You're
lying.
not
Get
black.
the
Don't say the
fuck
N-word
out
to
of
me,
here.
pretendian. Shut up,
Those
pretendian.
not the
Be
same
quiet,
people as
pretendian.
us.
Be quiet, pretendian. That's what I thought. You didn't want to hear the information. You got upset. So again, like I said, we can easily qualify this information and things like that. And that's why the crash had happened. Again, when we talk about the Seminoles and all that, every single time we go into the documents, we talk about the Seminole Wars and all that. It was a big distinction between the Black Seminoles and the Seminole Native Americans and all that. And I can easily qualify this information if y'all want me to. And she doesn't know what she's talking about. That's why they crashed out and got upset with me. I'm not erasing nobody's history or anything like that. If you can qualify this information, easily pull it up. I can qualify my indigeneity. It's backed up by my genealogy and all that, by my DNA and all of that. And then I know the history and why I got disconnected and all that and why I'm having to reconnect and all that. Clearly, you can't do it, and that's why you crashed out and you ran and all of that. So I land my plane. This is a perfect example of when we go on this app and we don't know what the heck we're talking about, and you talk to somebody like me that knows what the heck I'm talking about, can qualify this information, and talk to people that are actually Seminole and all that, Black Seminole and things like that. These people tell me these stories every single time. I've seen their genealogy and all that. It speaks for themselves, and I can easily qualify the information, and we can pull up data and statistics to back it up.
So in Black, let me say this. I don't have a clue why she went and pulled up one of my pictures from Kenya. That's just from me traveling. But one thing I'm realizing, Midnight, and I'm starting to get a great understanding of, is the trauma is real. Trauma in our personal lives has a lot to do with how we carry ourselves, how we perceive information, how we give out information. You can't, because she started hollering the N-word. That is talking about I'm gaslighting. Gaslighting what? It doesn't make any sense. When you're, how can I say this? I want to make sure I say this correctly. I'm just going to say it plain and simple. We subconsciously work for this enemy sometimes. We don't understand it, so we go at one another for whatever reason. I don't know why she went and pulled up my picture talking about, is this me? You gaslighting us. But you know what that shows? That I actually traveled somewhere and went and researched certain things. Most people probably ain't been off this continent that's talking all this crap. You might need to get out and see some stuff so you can understand what's really going on out here. And that's not gaslight nobody. I'm just talking the facts. She went and pulled up my picture for what? That I didn't understand that, Midnight. But anyway, Black, I appreciate what you said. But what I'm trying to say at the end of the day is this division is real. And if we don't start starting to get some kind of code going, we're going to keep dividing ourselves amongst ourselves. I just don't understand it. They keep trying to put people in these boxes that no one's putting them in. It makes no sense to me.
It's all good. You have a lot of people dealing with a lot of self-hatred and all that. But you did bring up something that I did want to question about and all that, because you could be possibly a connection to some of my friends and all that. You said that you had an ancestor that was Cherokee.
Yes, but let me make that clear, Black. I had done a lot of research on that. I found this out through my aunt. My great grandmother had passed, but if I pull up a picture of my grandfather, he looked Indian. He looked indigenous. I found this out after my grandmother had passed. I never met my great grandmother. My aunt is passed this information down to me. I'm in North Carolina, so this is a Cherokee state. Cherokees reside in North Carolina heavily. So I don't have a lot of information on it. This stuff that was passed down through my aunt. But I had done a lot of research on my great grandmother.
Okay. You do my what county was that side from?
Gaston County.
Okay, so I'm gonna be respectful when I say this and all that. Right now, there possibly could be a connection and all that because there is the Eastern Band of Cherokees and all of that. So I'm gonna
hmm
ask this, so and see if it matches up with the date. Because if it matches up with the date and all that, I could help you get connected to them and all that. I know some people that's
I
Eastern Band
would,
Cherokee.
I would love to get to know that because let me tell you what I'm realizing. And Black is if as we keep going down these holes, we're gonna be real. We're gonna realize that not just that they didn't just try to erase African history, they did try to erase this indigenous history too.
Mm-hmm.
And whether we like it or not, it's still intertwined. You could play these games and go get a little information and try to alienate yourself, but you cannot. It's still a common story at the end of the day. That's what I'm realizing, from doing the researches that I'm doing, and I'm just starting. I ain't got nowhere near where I want to be and what I want to get to understand. But what I do know is if you don't have any kind of healing, if you hadn't healed from a lot of this trauma, and this don't take months, this takes years to get over these things, man. I grew up with a white mother. I used to be embarrassed walking around with my mom when I was young. I didn't know everybody because I had nappy hair. I used to get stared at. I stuck out. It was I can laugh now, but it's been a hell of a upbringing to get to where I'm getting to and understanding where I'm, who I am. It's been a long, painful journey. I've had to go through some things, man, to start understanding who I am. And this alienating is this is not what's up. These CIA operatives, and they're doing it consciously and subconsciously, and that's another whole story for another day. But all this alienation and delineation and division, man, that's not going to make it going forward. We got to start taking this information and connecting it like you're trying to do with the Cherokee. I have no knowledge. All I know is my great grandmother was a Cherokee. That's all I know. I don't know anything else about my great grandmother, and my grandfather passed in the 90s. So that's the thing. I'm gonna land with this, but the trauma that we go through, they try to compact that trauma and try to make you say, let me ask you this, Black. If you ever heard someone say, man, I don't want to talk about it. You ever get in these certain topics and people, it's so triggering that people don't even want to discuss it.
Mm-hmm. This might cut out. You still here, Unity?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm here. I was just landing.
Oh, okay. So I want to ask you this. So, what year was the Cherokee ancestor born?
I would have to find out my great great grandmother. I would have to find that out. I just know when my grandfather was born.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, right? Now, there is, I have seen it. It's very rare, but I have seen it where some people legitimately have Cherokee ancestry and all that. Most of the time, they're just a freedman, but for the Eastern Band, that wouldn't be the case, right? So there was, like I said, depending on the year and all of that, there was some Cherokees that did not go to the Chillicothe and all of that, and they fled up into the mountains, Appalachian Mountains, and they're fairly recognized in North Carolina, right? And there's a way to qualify it. Since you don't know too much information, I'm not going to really go into that. Have you done a DNA test?
Yes.
Okay. Did anybody pop up to be Cherokee at all?
No, no, only a German. This is my German side. I
Okay.
only
How
had
much?
like two relatives. I only had two relatives pop up, and they was all on
How
my mother's side.
how much was your native DNA?
It was. I would have to look it up because I took it in 19, and then when I did African ancestry, I kind of didn't do it. No, I didn't. I kind of disregarded my that ancestry, but if it was a low percentage. It wasn't a very high percentage.
Okay. So yeah, so it's probably gonna be like this, right? So I'm gonna use me for example, right? From what I was told down, and I'm still doing research on it and stuff, right? But like I said, my cousin's DNA and all that backs it up. That I know that I come from this community, right? But with my DNA, right, I'm barely reaching 10%, right? So it was my from what I was told, it was my great grandmother that was a Native American from Panama, right? So I only have around 10%, right? And then my cousins and all of that and stuff that stayed back way more and all that and stuff, they're mostly white and native and stuff, and they have about way higher percentage where it makes up their most genetic makeup where they're just 50-50 with some African admixture, right? So I'm gonna just say it like this: for the average African American and stuff, if you wasn't really told nothing about being Cherokee and all that, it was just kind of like a thing where it was brought up at random times and all that. Unfortunately, like I said, you could be that example where it's not a folklore, but most of the time it's just a folklore. That ancestor was just really biracial and all that, and was fighting against discrimination and all that, so they lied and said they was native. And because I was told that from one of my North Carolina sites, I was told we was Blackfoot. And when I saw her picture and all that, I'm like, yeah, she has a big afro and white skin. Ain't no way she's Blackfoot and all that. Maybe she was half. I granted out. I was like, ain't no way she's Blackfoot. And then when I asked my other cousins about it, and I did the research, found out no, she was just really light skinned and all that and stuff, right? So most of the time, this is just a folklore that comes about and all that, and like, especially if you aren't really told anything and all that, right? Like I was disconnected from my tribe in Panama and all that, but me growing up and all that, I've always known I was African American and Panamanian, and all that. I just did not know about the tribe until I asked my grandfather one day when I was 18. Then he broke all that down to me and all that, and when he was able to break it down and qualify it and all that and stuff, I was like, okay, this sounds too good to not to be a lie and all that. Even though he did use some stereotypical stuff a little bit, but when my DNA came back and I matched up to the exact province we come from in Panama and all that, where the tribe descend from and all that, then I was like, okay, yeah, this is factual. So I would go and do a DNA test. I got the 23andMe free, and then Ancestry is having a little discount right now and all that. But I'm like, keep it 100. Like I said, you could be the nuances of it, but generally speaking, that's just most likely Ancestry, which is biracial and all that, and depending on whatever they just told you that and stuff. And when we look at average for African Americans and all that, there's only barely 1% Native ancestry. We're more European than we are Native and all of that and stuff. And especially if you don't have any relatives or anything like that that still live in them communities or anything like that, or have higher percentage, at least above 20 and all that, then yeah, most likely you just just a
And
folklore with that 1% where
right,
wherever it came from.
and the thing about it, Black, it wouldn't bother me if it was folklore. I'm just going off what I was told. Like I said,
Oh,
they might have.
okay,
Yeah,
good then. Okay.
it could be folklore. See, but my point is, I wasn't ever trying to be anything. I was just trying to find out who I was. I didn't, it went down these certain. Let me just say this about my family. I come from very, very dysfunctional sides on both sides. My father's side was very dysfunctional, and my mother's side was very dysfunctional. My mother's side was very racist, and my grandfather's side, my father's side, they was dysfunctional, drinking, a lot of alcoholism, stuff like that. My point of saying that is this: I'm gonna ask you a question, Black. Wouldn't it benefit the government for you to not be Cherokee? Wouldn't that mean they would have to spend more money if you did prove that you was this or you was that? If I'm correct.
Actually, no. No.
Okay.
If you were able to qualify that you were Cherokee, no, they wouldn't do nothing to the government.
No, not doing that to the government. Wouldn't I qualify for economic money?
Depends on what communities you come from.
Right. So
We would have to break that down
here,
nuance of
for
that.
being in North Carolina, I know for a fact if you can prove a certain Cherokee lineage, that I don't know how much money you're entitled to. I actually had somebody said they was going to research it for me, but they stopped. Because like I said, I could be just good, like you said, I could be going off pure folklore. I don't know, but I did do ancestry.com and it did come back indigenous. But like I said, it wasn't a large percentage.
Oh, wait, 1 second. You said you did Ancestry. Well, you did the
I
what
did do
you do for
ancestry. I
the
did
test?
ancestry. Yeah, I did the test, but what I was saying is
Oh, okay.
it didn't link me to nothing but my European family. But from what I understand, you have to be in the database to be family though, right? They can't just go find anybody. Wouldn't you have to be in the ancestry database?
Right, you would have so it would like show up your genetic markers. Like if I had 0 connections, like say none of my cousins, I only had 15, like well technically 17 cousins that did the test in Central and South America. But even if they didn't do it and stuff, I would still pop up the Panamanian indigenous. So that's
Gotcha.
still all gonna pop up. It just the matches help it out as far as more the connection.
Right.
That's it.
So what I'm asking Black is, I'm gonna be more specific. If you took this an ancestry test with my family that comes up in that test, which I had 2 cousins that came up on the test, wouldn't they have to be took an
I hear you.
ancestry test too to be
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, yeah.
database?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure because my family wouldn't do nothing like that. I only had my white family. I had 2 white family members that did it, and they were German. We followed that all the way back to the 1400s. My mom's they're German, so that was very interesting. And they fought in the Confederate. My great grandfather fought on the Confederate side.
Yo, family. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry to cut it. I have to. My phone's about to die, and I need the rest of my power. But hey, I didn't get to hear everything. I can't wait to replay it and hear it back. I post my shit on YouTube, so y'all follow each other, okay?
All right.
Yeah, I think I
Y'all
already
follow
followed
each
you,
other.
Black.
All right, cool, Unity. All right, nice to meet you, Black, and thank you, Midnight, for hosting that, man. Appreciate you.
No problem.
Yeah, have a good night.
All right, family. Good night. Well, we'll meet again. We'll meet again soon.